Yes, you are my everything. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yeah. You are not bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Together we're one, my woman till death. You are not bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Together we're one, my woman till death. Yeah. My promise to you is to give you every part of me. A man of Christ leads his woman into eternity. I call you my wife, I'm forever your man. Together we are one to the end. You are the gift of beauty that God's given to me. Oh, he gave you to me. Yes, he gave you to me. Yes, you are. Yes, you are my everything. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Oh, you are not bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Together we're one, my woman till death. You are not bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Together we're one, my woman till death. You're not bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Together we're one, my woman till death. You are not bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Together we're one, my woman till death. Flesh of my flesh, flesh of my flesh.
Wasn't part of the plan. It took me 30 years to understand that I ain't the one who make it, debated over again whether or not to keep you, rather or not to lead you. Knowing that I concede you, how could I turn and delete you? Been in that clinic before, saw the pill and the needle, walking out she in tears, probably thinking I'm evil. I'm thinking we dodged the bullet, give ourselves some time to peel. We may love a week later and give ourselves no time to heal. I'm thinking it's time to chill, hit the yard for a vacay, tell her don't take the pill. When thinking about no baby, was thinking about my heyday, be 20-something and rich. I know this shit getting thick, acting funny.
See, now I understand everything it takes to be a man. I'm asking you for forgiveness while holding them to your hand, praying that we can make it and I never let you down. On your head is the crown, my firstborn. You bring me black joy. Everything it takes to be a man. I'm asking you for forgiveness while holding on to your hand, praying that we can make it and I never let you down. On your head is the crown, my firstborn. You bring me black joy.
The only time I'm happy is around you. A lot of you inside of me, inside of you. It's all truth, it's all new. Still trying to make the adjustment. Feel back from everything, rapping right into hustling. Problems feel like they double. We struggle to stay afloat. Before I ever let you sink, my bare hands to build a boat. Thinking about your future, birthdays and graduations. How your grandpa gave me advice on all these situations. I'm hoping to build a kingdom, hand you over the castle, be the first one in the crowd while you flipping over your tassel, cheering you from the sideline. Basketball or soccer, instead of being a rapper, hope you strive to be an author. I'm hoping that I can offer encouragement and support, but beware Snoop Dogs while you trying to build you a fort. See, you will catch that one later, we'll watch the movie together. I'll be here in any weather to make it better.
See, now I understand everything it takes to be a man. I'm asking you for forgiveness while holding them to your hand, praying that we can make it and I never let you down. On your head is the crown, my firstborn. You bring me black joy. Everything it takes to be a man. I'm asking you for forgiveness while holding on to your hand, praying that we can make it and I never let you down. On your head is the crown, my firstborn. You bring me black joy. On your head is the crown. You bring me black joy. On your head is the crown. You bring me black joy.
your head is the crown.
What I need, joy. You bring me black joy. You bring me black joy. You bring me black.
Did I say something wrong? Did you hear what I was thinking? Did I talk way too long when I told you all my feelings that night? Is it you? Is it me? Did you find somebody better? Someone who isn't me? 'Cause I know that I was never your type, never really your type. Overthinking's got me drinking, messing with my head. Whoa. Tell me what you hate about me. Whatever it is, I'm sorry. I know I can be dramatic, but everybody said we had it. I'm coming to terms with a broken heart. I guess that sometimes good things fall apart. When you said it was real, guess I really did believe you. Did you fake how you feel when we walked down by the river that night? That night, that night when we fogged up the windows in your best friend's car, 'cause we couldn't leave the windows down in December. Whoa. Tell me what you hate about me. Whatever it is, I'm sorry. I know I can be dramatic, but everybody said we had it. I'm coming to terms with a broken heart. I guess that sometimes good things fall apart. Overthinking's got me drinking, messing with my head. Tell me what you hate about me. Whatever it is, I'm sorry. I know I can be dramatic, but everybody said we had it. to terms with a broken heart. I guess that sometimes good things fall apart.
This is my world.
Let's make it count.
I must practice tolerance.
Next, GSL Season 2 Renaissance. 2019 Mountain Dew GSL Season 2 Codex Renaissance.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the final 8 here for the GSL Code S. Tasis joined with me as Artosis, and this is a war. The world, the viewers, some of the players against Protoss. Artosis.
Yeah, some of the players, not too many.
A battle of good and evil, good versus evil.
Well, I mean, we'll see how they do tonight, but we don't have any PvPs tonight. Only one PvP in the round of 8. We can fix that for the round of 4 for the finals. I'm looking forward to possibly that being the case. But we have some very nice, fun matches here for you tonight. Our first night of the round of 8 is going to be Classic versus Sue and Trap versus Innovation. And of course, on Saturday, we'll be having Hurricane Parting and Hero Dark. But I would say out of the 2 round of 8 days, this one.
Dude, this is going to be fun. This is going to be, it's a tough one to call. It's tough, you know, if it wasn't so Protoss dominant, it would be tough to even know who to root for if you just saw these two together.
Are you saying that makes it easy to know who to root for?
Maybe. Now, Classic has been the most dominant player in recent StarCraft 2. I'd say for 2019, especially here in Korea, but overseas, well, he's been doing fine. And then he's going up against Sue, who might have been the most dominant player in GSL ever as far as getting second place so many times.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's been to more finals than Maru, right?
It's crazy, right? I mean, I know we've had great players like MVP, and yeah, Maru was really impressive, but Sue's had a long history here, so this is going to be a crazy match.
Only Innovation's on his level for number of finals appearances.
Yeah.
Who, of course, is playing tonight as well. But, yeah, Sue versus Classic, like these guys, they are old teammates. A little bit of rivals. It's not like as much as like a Dark Classic type of thing, where those two only knock each other out of tournaments, and thus will probably be our finals. But it should be fun.
We got a quick video, and then we're going to start our matches.
망했다. 결승에서 만났어야 됐는데 그 생각이 먼저 들고 최근에 윤수랑 연습도 많이 했고 까다로운 것 같아요.
그래 저를 인정한다고요? 연습하면은 거의 다 지는데? 그냥 겸손인가?
이 레전드 장면이 저한테 지고 나온 거거든요. 제가 만들어줬기 때문에 좀 뜻깊어가지고 그렸고, 정말 이 표정은 연기자가 따라 하려고 해도 못 따라 할 것 같이 표정이 너무 완벽한 표정이어가지고 너무 기억에 남네요.
이건 본인이 만들어준 시그니처라고.
열받네. 도우 형은 워낙 그리기 쉬워가지고 굉장히 쉽게 그릴 수 있었고요. 이 정도면은 저는 되게 미화시켰다고 생각해요. 도우 형이 지금 자고 있는 사진이고요. 군대에 가 있어요. 꿈꾸고 있어요. 자기가 우승하는 꿈. 근데 현실은 청소하러 가야 돼요. 끝입니다.
번식지의 어윤수? 번식지에서의 어윤수의 공격력이 너무 강해가지고 초중반 타이밍을 어떻게 버티느냐가 중요할 것 같고,
운영도 되게 잘하는데 종빨기도 또 잘 써요. 그러니까 원희삭 같은 경우에는 종빨기만 잘 쓰는데 도우 형은 종빨기도 잘 쓰는데 약간 김대엽 같은 그런 탄탄함도 있고, 종빨기만 막자라는 생각으로 하면은 질 수 있기 때문에 좀 저도 생각을 좀 많이 해서 빌드 싸움을 잘 이겨야 될 것 같아요.
블락만 가면 이제 어락기 뜨고 하면 별거 아니어서 최근에도 응원기 나왔거든요. 아니 무난히 버티기만 하면 이길 것 같아요.
응원기, 어락기가 응원기가 돼요.
이제 타락기 그 키 빼놓으려고요. 첫 경기에 제가 딱 잡고 시작하면은 도우 형이 좀 많이 흔들릴 것 같아요.
최근 슈퍼 토너먼트 4라운드 결승에서 다 역습이랬잖아.
그랬나?
페페승 선수가 다 올랐어.
약점이 아닌가 보다. 그 약점 고쳤네. 제가 생각한 약점이었거든요. 약점을 고쳤네. 뭐야, 약점이 없는데요? 제가 그때 약점은 그거였는데. 제가 경무청에 신고하려고요. 여기 비리 있다고.
지금 원소서 그리는 그림은 선수 소개할 때
네, 갑자기
선병이 왔어요.
네, 끌고 가기.
사실 윤수가 월챔 우승 때 했고, 그래서 스토어에서 16강에서 제가 이겼거든요. 그래서 뭐 타격이 없을 줄 알았는데 되게 삐져 있더라고요, 지고 나서. 그래서 뭐 이번에도 혹시 지고 나서 좀 안 삐졌으면 좋겠네요.
아니 이건 사연이 있어요. 예전에 제가 4강에서 4대0으로 이긴 적이 있어요. 제가 그 경기하기 전에 도우 형 우리 누가 이기던 4강 끝나고 이제 같이 밥 먹자 이렇게 말했거든요. 자기가 먼저 도망가는 거예요. 먼저 가버린 거예요. 삐져가지고 그때부터 좀 의상하긴 했거든요. 근데 그걸 자기가 먼저 가가지고 저도 간 건데 그걸 그렇게 말하니까 좀 그렇네요. 도우 형이 그 IM 결승 간 거 보면서 저도 자극을 많이 받았거든요. 도우 형한테. 그만큼 서로한테 윈윈이 좀 되는 것 같은데 이번에 제가 딱 이기고 또 자극 받아가지고 다음에 또 열심히 했으면 좋겠네요.
Round of 8.
Okay, we're going to be hopping into these matches very soon. Again, this has been very Protoss dominant GSL, but that could change after today.
Yeah, it really could. Imagine if we have a CVT in the next round. I think it's a long shot, but we'll see. Classic versus Su, that was a wonderful thing seeing them kind of banter together there.
Yeah. As you can see, this is a fight for WCS ranking points here. Number 1 Classic, number 2 Su.
Yeah. Both of them looking pretty set towards BlizzCon. Of course, Su winning the IM. Katowice, big deal for him. Now, can he take down Classic? Classic seems to be the best Protoss in the world right now. I really like how Su said it. He's good at using the racial advantage, which is called, this is the nice way to say he's good at abusing Protoss.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he's very solid as well. He's, he can kind of do everything. He's good at everything. I love that he just poked at Parting for no reason there. He's like, for instance, Parting is only good at abusing his race. Classic's good at everything. Oh, it's so funny. Su is a funny guy.
Now, although Su is obviously a terrifying player to play against, he hasn't been as strong as of late. There's a period where Su was almost the centerpiece of all GSL.
Yeah.
How far does he get? Can he actually overcome his curse here in GSL, always getting second? I think right now Classic is the hottest player in Korea.
Yeah, for sure. It can't be Maru because Maru lost so early.
He's gone, yeah.
It's interesting as well that you kind of have the impression that Su is doing not as well when he finally won a big tournament, right? Yeah, his GSL performance,
I'm talking GSL here.
Well, this is his chance to turn that right around.
And right now, Classic is dominating GSL. No, I see what you're saying. But let's see if he can overcome Classic right now, who's been killing it in our tournaments. Classic versus Su starts now on King's Cove.
Makers Classic. Chivo, Su.
By the way, that picture he drew of Classic was great. And the fact that he says he was sleeping, but he had headphones on while he was in the military sleeping, I'm really confused about that part. Anyways, excited to see what these guys are going to do. The first map being King's Cove, I think is actually... That's the most interesting map to start it on because it's kind of easy to defend everything here.
Yeah.
There's definitely ways that you can get aggressive. Like there's some interesting Nidus plays that you can do. But for instance, an Immortal push, you have to go up ramps, right? Makes it a lot harder. In the mid game, the fourth base, it's super wide open. So it makes it harder to actually kill someone there. We normally get long games.
From Pittsburgh, welcome.
Right.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be one where I think you're right. Third base could be a little bit safer. It's in a just a safer spot. This tends to reward, I think, a little bit more of the defensive play here.
Yeah. So, like, for instance, if we're going to see, I think it's a decent map for a Stargate opener. You know, Immortal openers are all the rage, but I don't see that necessarily doing that well. I mean, you can always open Twilight if you want, but that is 99% of the time an all-in, right? So
yeah.
Unless it's, you know, a DT drop based off the Twilight, I guess. Yeah, let's see what Classic has up his sleeve here, because I think Sue can play a pretty regular game here and get into that late mid-game pretty cleanly. But yeah, the Stargate comes up. I'm not surprised to see that for this map.
By the way, you know, to what we were talking about before the show, you know, with Classic being dominant in GSLs, especially lately, and then Sue just winning an IEM. Different tournaments here, right? There's so much prep time you get coming into a match like this, and that's what makes me a little bit worried here for Sue. Whenever you see somebody win any of those marathon tournaments, first of all, that's incredible, right? I mean, the sheer stamina it takes to power through that and still come out on top when you're just standing on top of bodies of the other dead pros. Everybody who entered into that tournament, a very different beast than, you know, weekly or bi-weekly coming into an event with just one opponent, a series of maps that you can plan for, and being able to research them and get their play styles. And it seems like especially Classic, almost more than anybody else, and we saw Stats do this a little bit in the past, and even though we saw Mario do it over and over, it seemed like he was just good no matter what. It almost didn't seem like it was as much of a prepping thing as it was. He was like way ahead of the curve with Terran. I'm wondering what Sue's going to do here, because Classic is so good at the prep work.
It's very true. I think he might be just about the best of that. Oh, okay. So I was going to comment that I was wondering if he could make an uglier, worse wall when he put up that second pylon, but looks like he just wants to fully wall. That's kind of like a Abyssal Reef walling right there. But yeah, it is an interesting thing, because I think for sure good Protoss players, for instance, Classic, as you say, so good at prepping. We saw the builds that he used against like Dark, for instance, in the round of 4 last season.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Crazy.
Like, he had that one triangle on the map that didn't get scouted by overlords, and that's where everything was.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, yeah, no, you really did your homework. You really did this
Hidden
well.
on a hill, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Kind of, it's funny, these spots where they'll hide it in plain sight, but it's like, yeah, the worker won't go there.
He knows the one place.
Overlord won't go there.
Yeah, so the prep, I mean, it's interesting because people are coming up with different ideas. Like, is the prep really good for Terran? Well, maybe with aggressive plays. I think prep is good for aggressive plays, generally speaking. You know?
You think so?
Yeah, because you come in with these very sharp builds where it's like, oh, they're going to miss this one thing with regular play, and I'm going to kill them for it.
Okay, so you think it's more like you try to do the research and then come in with the timing?
Yes.
And try to disarm them? I guess PVZ specifically, that you're saying that.
It seems to be, I think, in every matchup, actually.
Really?
I think that's where a lot of the power lies in prep time, whether it's a Terran with a really great 2-base all-in or a Protoss with a nice Immortal push or whatever the hell it is. That's what I'm starting to really think about.
I was always wondering if it could be the other way around, where it's like you could actually prep to try to be ready for anything they might do. Hold on a sec, we got the Oracles coming in. Now this is 3 Oracles at once. By the way, Glaives is being upgraded, so there's going to be a follow-up after this attack as his Hydra Den finishes, but doesn't look like he's going to come in and try to kill any workers just yet. He scouts the Hydra Den, sees that, and okay, here I believe we're actually going to see him pounce in and start to get some kills.
Yeah, and that was pretty good overall. He's getting a good amount of drones right now. The Queen's a little bit out of position for this to start. Wow, that's a lot of workers. 12 workers for an Oracle is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and it looks like that attack's going to come out. I want to talk more about this idea. We were bringing it before this attack, but I think the second part of the attack we're going to focus on instead.
Oh, yeah.
And so we have the Adepts coming across the map, shading south.
Yeah, they could do pretty well, I think, against these Hydras coming in. Look at this now. The Oracle's actually diving on top of a Hydros. They're not getting too much damage overall. But what he's fighting against, I mean, there's no Banelings or anything, so these Adepts definitely have a lot of potential.
Okay. The Adepts separated right now from the Stargate units. They're going to shade in, and it appears they're going to be going up the ramp now. Looks like they will target down one Queen before finishing that shade over here. And there's really nothing to defend right now. The last Hydra is picked off. Workers scrambling to get away, and even a little bit of a bottleneck position over there at the ramp. The Adepts continue to do damage, and I think the second shade, in fact, I think there's a third group of Adepts that are going to come in here at the third base.
Yeah.
The second group, excuse me.
This is looking like a dead Zerg to me right now.
Yeah, I think Classic just straight up killed him.
Yeah. Sue, I mean, I like that he was trying to go to Hydras, but against mass Adepts, can be a little bit tough to defend.
Yeah.
You know, they can rail down the Hydras very quickly. Roaches are going to fight against them a bit better. Even Banelings could have been useful here, but...
And this is just a really good example of a timing attack that comes in here and basically punches a Zerg in the throat before you're really able to do much of anything.
Yeah.
And now it's 45 workers, 45 probes to 22 drones.
It's so much damage. It's so much damage.
And with the Immortals coming in, the Robotech is kicked in. I really like this attack here from Classic. This is so cool.
Yeah.
You basically take the scraps of your rush and then use that to cook up a finishing blow here if you've done enough damage with the harass.
He's got a lot of sentries, man.
Yeah, and he could dice up the remainder of the army however he wants.
You think those 9 Hydras can hold this off?
Call it a hunch, but I'd say no.
Yeah.
He's probably just going to go into the natural, I think.
I think you just walk up into the third and kill everything.
I'm actually surprised we're even seeing this split. Oh, okay. He's not going to let that finish.
You have to pull away from this space.
Yeah.
I think he might just GG. Like, there's just
I don't know if there's much of a future for the Zerg in this game.
The only thing he can do is try to get lucky with some Banelings here, which he is morphing. There's those Banelings. They're stuck, though. Force fields are good against Banelings, I heard.
This is really brutal, man. Classic just crushing through. Again, Classic coming with more of the long-term prep we talked about. I think it's going to be probably a bigger theme here in general with these two. Classic comes in. He kills the 12 drones with the Oracles. He was actually very patient with where he hit, by the way. If you notice, there was a rotation, an orbit around the bases. He went from the second to the main to the third. He didn't pull the trigger. A lot of times we'll see them come into the first base with 3 or 4 Oracles and start spraying everything down. Instead, he waits. He says, you'll probably be least defended here. Comes and kills those. Then the Adepts come in. I think the damage had already been done. It was another rocking blow. And then he comes in with a killing blow.
Yeah, it was a very strong build there. And Sue had the wrong build to fight against it as
frankly,
well.
Classic finished that game off like he was finishing hunting an animal. Like it was laying on its side, barely breathing, and he went in and cut its throat.
He turned the gun sideways for the kill shot, is what he did.
Yeah. Okay, game 2 is ready on Kairos Junction. Classic Pursuit continues on.
Makers Classic. Chivo, Sue.
So, we were talking about this before that timing attack really kicked in, and then there was nothing but play-by-play to talk about. But you were saying you feel like prep tends to favor timing attacks, which I think is really interesting. I think you might be right about that. I think I'm so used to. Oh, hold on, that is a cool sign. Ooh,
that's funny. Look,
because sorry, I was just going to say that I think a lot of times you would expect someone who had a lot of time to prep, historically, in the way we think about RTSs, would win in a longer game. You'd be able to stop all the cheeses and kind of have an idea of what they're going to do.
I think that, I don't think that's truly the case, though. I think about this a lot, what prep is actually doing for people, and it, in my opinion, especially in StarCraft 2, okay, I think StarCraft 2 is unlike a lot of other RTS games, including Brood War, in the fact that the counters are all harder in StarCraft 2. They all hit harder. Like the Immortal
things snowball pretty fast.
The Immortal beats armored units harder than anything beats anything in StarCraft 1 or other RTS games for the most part. I'm not going to speak in
trying to think of something
terms,
in Warcraft 3, but the counters are very, very, very hard. Yeah.
Like how badly Banelings can kill something, how badly Immortals can kill something. That type of thing when you think about it, right? So if you come in with some of these sharp, aggressive plays, like what we just saw there, right? Now, if Sue played against that build a bunch of times, if that was just normal in the meta, and Classic was coming in saying, I'm just going to do the builds that are good, the normal builds, and Sue practices against that regularly, yeah, maybe he just holds that. He already has the roaches out. He knows what to scout for and everything. But when you're just bringing, like, is that a build that we've seen this season or last season? No, it's not. That is a different build. That is slightly different, and it just bulldozed through Sue, who could not have possibly been ready because he can't read minds. He doesn't know what Classic's going to bring.
That's a really, okay, I really like what you're saying here, because StarCraft 1, things kind of just move slower, even though it's still a very fast game. Fights happen a little bit more slowly. It takes a while for the game to pick up. You start with 4
workers.
None of
the units really counter each other as hard as in here, whereas the Adepts run into what Sue had, and it's like, oh, get out of here.
Yeah, and I guess once the damage, because fights by nature in StarCraft 2 happen so quickly, and you're controlling so many units at once. I guess once you start to get the edge, things start to pop off pretty quickly. And maybe you're right about that. Maybe that's an interesting way to put it. I'm sure it's not a universal, but it seems like it could be a general idea of preparation. But I wonder how much that is matchup specific as well. You know, there's certain matchups. I mean, for instance, Zerg, unless they immediately do something and try to change the trajectory of a game early on to do an attack, it seems like Zerg is generally the one that is trying to defend and hold off in the right way so that they can still develop and grow.
I think theoretically Zerg is the strongest in late games. I don't think it always works out like that, but I think theoretically, and also their all-ins kind of are weak in comparison to the all-ins of the other races.
Well, I guess the thing about their all-ins is that they can't recuperate from them anywhere near as much.
And all their units are kind of short range and
because some of their all-ins are actually, I think, quite strong. But, well, I guess, in comparison to some other things.
Now, I do want to mention this build, right? Now, that's a fake right there, those 2 gases. This is basically Goblin's build from WCS that we're seeing here from Classic. Charge Immortal all in. He's got almost no gas. Will he cancel these? No, he's just going to let him finish. Okay.
I think you leave him there to...
He has, like, no sentries here.
Right.
This should just be charge lots and some Immortals. And that's going to go very well against something like roaches. You have to be very careful how you engage something like this. Whereas, for instance, Goblin did a build similar to this. He did a couple builds like this at WCS, and like in one of the games, Raynor just smashed him with Lingbane.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't have force fields? Okay.
Die!
Get out of here. But if you don't have that splash damage to work against the Zealots, it becomes very difficult.
By the way, just a little subtle thing we saw there, letting those 2 gases finish when you don't need the gases at all. He made those at the start there to make it look misleading, right? And even though the Overlord was about to be killed off, he let that, we're seeing it, we're actually being shown that right now. You just let it finish anyways, just because it might make them second guess. And even just that one building, letting that finish and making them second guess, and they might not have enough, is worth it. Especially in the nature of what this build is, which is to basically break their jaw right when the rush starts.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? He actually is mining a little bit of extra gas. We saw him make a sentry. I think it's smart to get a sentry with this build so that you have a Guardian Shield, because one Guardian Shield is absurdly strong. So smart plays there. Lots of roaches being made, but you have to be careful how you engage this, right? Charge Zealots one-on-one against roaches. That's a fine fight for the charge lot, and then you have the Immortals in there as well and the Guardian Shield. This is going to be hard to hold on.
Yeah. Very different rush, but a lot of the same ideas going on here in that the Protoss does not want to let Zerg get into any kind of late game here. One of those Ravager Biles does connect with the Immortals. Now the splitting here is actually going to keep the Immortals really safe in the back. You can see that Sue is continuing to try to kite out one of those groups up at the top, a little bit further away. Note the position of the War Prism as well. Is that going to be in range of the Biles? If he can gun down the War Prism, he might be able to curb the rush.
Sue is doing a fantastic job against this. Wow. Like, there's just about nothing left here. Just the Immortals.
Oh my God.
Just look at that really strong hold.
And there's no way that he can plant that and try to warp in more. Really well done there by Sue. Okay.
Yeah, so...
And, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's a little bit different. Like, it opened almost exactly like Goblin's build, and then he slowed it down a little bit and added a bunch of sentries. So it wasn't quite as sharp, but it did have a few force fields in there. The thing is, Sue read what was going on pretty quickly. Those gases were late for a fake, right? He saw the Twilight. He saw Immortals. He saw no sentries. That's a lot of information for Sue, and he did not take his finger off the R button. He made a lot of roaches there. Very well executed defense by Sue.
That R button's a different color on his keyboard, Artosis.
It's
the paint
worn
is
off.
worn off. There's no letter there. All the other letters are there, and there's one mystery button. Turbo Cruise 84. I actually would not be surprised if this is another rush here from Classic. Maybe even from Sue, I don't know. Classic seems to want to just take the initiation right away. Keep in mind, Classic doing a really good job of just sort of prepping in this matchup we've seen. Even though that rush didn't work, I mean, the ideas were certainly there. I wonder what he's going to do on this map. Do you think we're going to see a standard game from these two?
I think that this game could actually go longer than the other games. I think it's hard to attack through those green slowing fields into a defensively positioned player.
All right, game 3's ready. Classic for Sue. Let's go.
Oh. Okay.
Makers Classic.
This is going to end too quickly.
This is going to be
Listen,
fast.
guys, when this series is done, tell them to stay in their booths, and we're going to make them play Archon mode a couple times on the ladders.
Yeah.
Chivo, Sue.
So, I mean, I think that this will be a cannon rush, but I don't know for sure. The gateway and pylon on top of the ramp kind of point towards that. So my guess is that this will be the cannon rush, like Haas's cannon rush, that goes into Immortals and shield batteries. We'll see. He'll have to throw it on the forge pretty soon. Excuse me, if that is to be the case. Yeah, there it is. So that should be what we're looking at here.
Congratulations on your wedding.
Whoa. Excellent. Yes, GSL is a must-do. Thank you for coming down. Congrats.
Oh, wow. Pylon right up there.
Oh, that's funny.
That's funny. This is like...
Sue already knows something is up.
This is... So if you want to talk about build orders, you know, putting the pylon in the main to cannon, that's like what cavemen were doing. Like they were, you know, this is from a long,
Don't
long
make
time.
fun of Huck.
No. This is like the original StarCraft Pros build. He didn't see it. He didn't see it. Oh! Look at this.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so this is like before humans had invented fire, this is like the build they were doing.
Oh my God, it's so dirty. See, prepped builds are all about aggression, man. Sue is just, oh my God, look at that. Now he sees that there's something
the thing
there.
about Classic is he found this build on cave paintings, Artosis.
Yeah.
He's like, what are they trying to show me here? I see a pylon over here made with dirt and cow dung.
Yeah.
And I believe that this over here is with blood, with Zerg blood, is cannons warping in. Dude. Okay, so this is so great because
5 spines.
The spawning pool, by happenstance, is actually adjacent to where the cannons warping in. The robos started. The hatchery in the main and the hatchery in the natural are basically cut off from each other because of the placement of the cannons.
Did you see this, by the way? Look at this clutch play from Classic. He sees how many spines are being made with this second probe, and he canceled the robo to build more batteries and cannons.
Yeah.
Realizing that Sue is almost all in with the spines. So all he has to do is stop him. Now look at this, he's trying to block them from burrowing, and he actually slows them quite a bit. Look at that one that gets way out of position. Oh my God.
Great blocking there with the probes.
Oh, chills. This is so
Robo
dirty.
starts.
It's
He's
so
decided
good.
he can close this one out. I don't know if this game's going to last long enough for that Robo to finish, though, Artosis.
No, he's killing absolutely everything here. These spines never had a chance. What's it? I mean,
GG.
Yeah.
All right. What time is it? Let me check my phone. All right, so we've been live for 30 minutes. Literally exactly 30 minutes.
2-1 right now in Classic's favor. Just wild. Seeing him put that pylon up there, and then the second probe comes for the low ground. Just wow. Wow. So, Classic pulling out all the stops here. Gosh, he just wants to win GSL so bad, doesn't he?
He does.
Kind of pathetic, don't you think, Tasteless?
Dude, funny that he used that strat specifically. Again, the original, like, we're talking 1998 StarCraft cheese. You're like, wait a minute, I can make a pylon in his main. And
maybe he doesn't scout it.
maybe he won't scout it. I'm sure he's probably looking for where my base is, when in fact it's not really important, because if you survive against the cannon rush, you're probably going to win. Well, I guess back then it would. I don't know about now with players like Classic, but you get what I'm saying. And then he actually, it was so beautiful how he canceled the robo because he thought, okay, like as you were saying, there's too many spines here. This is not, he might actually hold this, and therefore I don't want to overinvest in this rush. And then he body blocks, or building blocks, I guess you call it in this case, the spines from actually burrowing, gets the, and then because it's going to work, he goes, okay, I'll make the robo again. But otherwise, I had that, if he predicted correctly that the Zerg was going to hold that, we would have had a different game, which he might have won anyways. We're going to a break. Sorry you didn't get to talk at all. We'll be right back.
Take all my cares away. You can move mountains. I don't have to be afraid. For you, I know you are guarded. All things are possible. You are guarded. None can replace. Trust in every step I take. For you I know I got it. All things are possible. You are got it. None can replace. Jesus, lover of my soul, you never let me go. You never let me go. Jesus, it's your love, it covers everything. I hold you close inside of me. I'll never let you go. All this life I live is fully yours alone. I have nothing without you, and with my eyes set high and my will laid low, constant on the road, your perfect peace I hold.
Oh, I wanna stay right here, chilling with my friends for another year. I would walk away from the spotlight for the good life. Oh, come on, turn your hate into poetry, pain into power, enemies to friends, and your minutes into hours. I would walk away from the spotlight for the good life, for the good life. And they all said I was crazy for leaving my money, but it never made me happy or loud. Life is just too short to never do what you want to. What do you want to do? Oh, I wanna stay right here, chilling with my friends for another year. I would walk away from the spotlight for the good life. Oh, come on, turn your hate into poetry, pain into power, enemies to friends, and your minutes into hours. I would walk away from the spotlight for the good life, for the good life. One heart, one shot, now the future is yours. Go! Yeah. I was building on the lecture. Verses coming daily under pressure. Working on the plot and the scheme. The true stock trademark is at the edge of your dreams. I'm talking one shot for the kill. The priest cut threes up, straight dropping the chills. I'm talking taking over pieces and shares. A bomb race sky high. Check the movement is here. Yeah. It's one art, one shot. Now the future is yours. Go. Yeah. It's one art, one shot. Now the future is yours. Go. It's one art, one shot. I'm turning dreams into reality. In the lab with the formula and chemistry. The memories spark and motivate and make the industry shake. We put the bars in the brakes. I'm talking one chance at best, yes. Painting pictures for the culture, keep the brushes fresh. Flip the cover, work the drummer, passion never rests. Freedom is a teacher under pressure, now we blessed. See, I was so go for the go. It's one art, one shot, now the future is yours. Go! Yeah! It's one art, one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
Round of 8. (2019) Mountain Dew GSL Season 2. Codex. Renaissance.
What's up, everybody? We're back here at the GSL, and I mean, this has gone so fast. We were mentioning it earlier. We just went through 3 StarCraft 2 games, as well as the intro, the in-between camera shots of the studio, and we went to commercial. That took a total of 30 minutes. That's how fast Classic Pursue has been.
Well, Classic's just going all in every single game so far.
I'm hoping we're going to slow down here, Artosis. I'm getting older.
New Repugnancy and Thunderbird? Maybe Thunderbird, man. We could see a longer game there. New Repugnancy, I'm not as sure on.
Every game, by the way, Classic is the initiator.
Yes.
Classic is executing a kill attack. And one game Sue survives, and the other 2 not so far. And I got to say, I think Sue looks a little bit shocked this is even going this fast.
Yeah. Well, even the game he survived, to be honest, I felt like Classic butchered his own build. Like when the Overlord came in, he was trying to fake the gases, and he's like, you know what? We'll just do the gases. It did not feel like it was part of the build. If you get sentries for Rush, generally it's earlier on, so they have more energy. So it was kind of a weird thing he did there on the loss.
Game 4 is ready. Let's go.
Makers Classic. Chivo Sue.
Oh, man. Huge, loud cheer for Sue.
Well, might be the last he hears this season.
But there are nothing but Terrans in the audience. I don't see a single alien.
That's true.
So, I mean, what do you expect? And Zerg, I mean, they're going
Turn around
extinct.
and look, I'm like, oh no, I see a couple aliens down there. They're cloaked though. Dark Templar.
Yeah.
Those empty seats. You think we'd have empty seats on a day like this? You idiot.
There's DTs just sitting in a chair.
Yeah. Those are aliens, right?
Drinking energy drinks.
Sorry, you don't have detection, bro.
Yeah.
I'm a science vessel. What are you?
You try to sit down in one of those chairs and go, I am so sorry. I just was, wasn't paying attention. I'll go get a seat in the back.
I'll just stand. It's fine. I want to
I'll
stand. Oh, I sat all the way here. I sat all day.
You'll be telling your friends later, I sat on a Dark Templar. It was so embarrassing.
What type of weapon did he have?
What is it called? The one that why can I not? Scythe? Yeah. Is that a good weapon at all, a scythe?
If I had a scythe, I could kill you with it for sure. So yeah, I would say it's a good weapon.
I don't know if that's true, Artosis. I think I'd run through a door and you bounce off it with that scythe.
I don't
might
think
be wrong.
I think you'd scream and I would just cut you in half with it. I think that's what would happen. You try to run through
How
the
do you
door,
even
but
attack somebody
my
with a
is
scythe?
long. You swing it at him.
Is it supposed to be pointed at him, or does it point away and the blade cuts
You could do
him?
either.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
wow. Never
Never
mind. Amazing
But
weapon.
you would. I don't think you'd stab it as often, right? That would be a spear. Okay, if you had a
So
spear,
you're supposed
you'd
to
stab
spin
it.
it like a bow, like Donatello, and then you could do the pointy end.
I mean,
cuts
if
him?
you want to show off, sure.
Yeah.
You're like that kid that tries to use nunchucks and hits himself in the head with them. Me tastes, I just slash it down once, cut you in half.
Yeah. Robo, by the way.
No big surprise there.
Yep. In line with kind of the theme here for Classic versus Sue. Classic going for very aggressive attacks.
Yeah.
Does not want to go into any late game here. Does not want to let Sue do whatever he's practiced here. It's all going to be up to whether or not Sue can, absorb the blows that Classic is trying to deal and then come out on top.
Yeah, it's probably just going to be one blow, but interesting. He like blocked the drone and Sue took the third over there. I almost feel like you'd prefer them take the other third because then you're attacking down a hill instead of up a hill. But what do I know? All right, so the Prism is on the way, making a sentry right now. Obviously wants to clear this Overlord ASAP. Another Overlord getting ready for that scout. Very nice scout pattern we're looking at from him. Gonna try to sneak up with it, I think. Oh my god, it's double Stargate.
Very cute.
Okay, so hold on. The Robo was on the left-hand side of the main, right?
Yes. It's like
okay,
very,
so he was
very out
looking
there.
for it to get scouted. This is
that too obvious of a play? Is it just, to put it that far out
there? But he didn't even see it.
So then he sent the,
Oh, well, he saw the Prism, so whatever. I should shut up.
Right.
Anyways.
But I was wondering if he sends the Prism down there to... He's like, all right, look, see, I got a Robo.
Well, it's very normal to use the Prism to clear the Overlord, but yeah, look at this scout pattern. This scout pattern will probably win Sue the game, to be honest, because
I think so.
This build isn't really that good.
No, he turns around.
Oh my god. Well, he sees gases, and now the fact that he didn't go all the way, but he saw the gases, probably means that he'll prepare heavily for the rush, thinking it's going to be sentry heavy. So that's not a good thing for Sue.
That's right. Now, he's pulling the Phoenix's Classicus right now because the Stargates are hidden. So the idea is that since this is scouted, and in fact is not scouted, excuse me, and then the fact that Sue tries to creep in and only sees the double gases, so in some ways the scouting he's done has actually hurt him.
Whoa! Oh, I can't even believe he did that.
Yeah.
You know what?
It's almost like his Warp Prism was picked up by another Warp Prism at distance.
If I was his mother, I'd yell at him for that. Like, seriously? Like, no, nothing happened, Mom. I'm like, listen, you took a stupid risk. Is one Adept worth your Prism's life?
And then you should say, and also don't call me Mom.
No, I'd be fine with him calling me Mom.
Oh, speaking of which, I just spilled my drink. All right, moving on.
Oh my God, tasteless.
There goes
so
my
he now
Mountain Dew.
scouts it. Okay, so this is going to be hard for him. It's a pretty heavy build order advantage right now for Classic. I think it's still somewhat playable. You're going to have to make a bunch of spores. And just to mention, to give proper props, this is actually Heroes build. This is just a variation on Heroes build that he used against Scarlet in Season 1 of this year. But very, very tricky. You make them go roaches, basically. You make it seem like there's going to be a very aggressive Immortal push, and then you make a bunch of Phoenixes because they're good.
Okay, we see those Phoenixes coming in here now. Really good control here by Classic, just pulling the weakened Phoenix away, the one that has no shields. So suffering no losses there. Two more are going to join in with the fleet. And I gotta say, Classic is playing a really, not just beautiful game here, but beautiful series.
Yeah, no, he really is. Sue is making the Spire, and I believe that we just flew over that. So Classic should know. The thing is, when you go Spire against this, it's generally for Corruptors, but with all the gates and Immortals being made at home, Corruptors would probably be one of the weaker things that you could make right now. Like, maybe you counter the Phoenixes, but then you have all these Corruptors against an Immortal push.
Yeah.
So maybe you can go Corruptor into Muta. Maybe something like that works.
Interesting. Yeah, maybe. By the way, these Adepts shade in. Even more drone kills coming down now. We're almost at 12. You know, whenever you hide Phoenixes like this and they don't get a good read on it, the amount of damage that they do is just incredible. And when you have a follow-up attack like this, Zerg is just trying to stabilize after taking all the Phoenix abuse, and a lot of times trying to at least get something to stop the Phoenix attack, which most likely is not going to be particularly helpful in a push like this that's coming out.
Yeah, and look, he's had all these Stalkers as well, so that's going to be helpful against the Roaches to a certain degree, and obviously if you try to go Corruptor into Muta, you're going to have a hard time there as well. I love the 3 spores being moved. He brings up his Queens as well. This is tough. We're throwing down those bios, clearing a bunch of these force fields. The Phoenix is coming over, getting some lifts. Almost all the spores died, not quite. Even a second prism coming in.
Okay, nice bios coming down here, but I think Classic so far has taken a really good advantage of escaping down this ramp. Note how far that War Prism is away as well. Drones being pulled here, indicating just how bad things are right now for Sue, as a lot of them get picked off.
Yeah.
This is all after that rush.
All these Immortals still alive, still shooting, making it very, very difficult for him. More Roaches are being made, but with 3 Immortals still left over, this seems to be the point of no return.
Seems like it. Ravagers now being morphed in here. They're going to be picked off immediately. Even that last Immortal not being picked off. And, you know, from here I kind of wonder how Sue feels. This was such a short series. You know, normally these nights in the round of 8 are actually quite long and dramatic, but gosh, this series, there it is, GG. This series was done in under 50 minutes, Artosis, 4 StarCraft 2 games.
Yeah, it was definitely very quick. Classic bringing in pure aggression tonight against Sue. He planned it well. He had some good builds.
Yeah.
I actually think he messed up game 2 and had a higher % chance to win that if he hadn't changed it, but you know what? It doesn't really matter. He ends up winning 3-1 and knocking Sue out. Only 1 Zerg remains.
Well, if there was going to be a Protoss who advanced, it would have been Classic, for sure.
Of course. Like, he's the favorite to win the season. We've been saying that since the second that Mara lost.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be going to an interview now with Classic and see how he's feeling.
다들 결승급 대진이라고 했는데요. 오늘 빠른 진출을 이뤄낸 김도우 선수 만나보겠습니다. 축하드립니다.
Congratulations.
네,
감사합니다.
Nice winning against.
네, 이번 시즌 2 첫 번째 4강 진출자가 됐습니다. 먼저 소감부터 들어볼게요.
How are you feeling about tonight's victory against Sue?
네, 우선 오늘 준비가 굉장히 잘 돼 있다라고 생각을 해서
I was well prepared.
윤수가 잘하긴 하지만 자신감이
Although
있었는데,
Sue played very well.
네, 올라가게 돼서 너무 좋네요.
I'm really glad to
다들
advance to
결승급
semifinals.
대진이라고 생각을 했었는데
Even though this matchup
느끼셨어요?
is final matchups,
빌드
how you think about it?
준비하면서 빌드가 되게 잘 나온 것 같아가지고
I think you,
이 정도
Sue,
빌드면 누굴 만나도
well
이길 수
prepared the
있다라는
build-ups.
자신감이 있어서 좀 편하게 온 것 같아요.
I was quite relaxed, but I was well prepared either. So
공멸
I
8코
was
사도
pretty
러시, 불멸자,
confident
올인,
with it.
광자포 러시까지 대부분 이렇게 다 공격적인 빌드로 짜오셨는데 이게 어떤 배경으로 선택을 하신 건가요?
Today's build-ups, you used quite aggressive builds,
방송 경기로 많이
including
보여드리기도 했고
proxy
빌드에
for
노출이
cannons.
많아서
How do you prepare this?
이제 그 노출된 걸로 심리전을 했거든요. 원래는 운영을 했다면 오늘은 좀 공격적으로도 했고 그냥
I used to play
심리적인
rotation
요소를 많이
previously,
이용하는
but
것
tonight,
네,
for tonight I
심리적인 요소
prepared
때문에
aggressive
정말
build-ups
깜짝 놀란
against
부분들이
Sue
많았습니다.
for the
리스트
psychological
CCT나 뭐 수정탑
factors.
위치에서도 아 이거 러시 타이밍 있어 했는데 하시더니 또 놀란 건 터보 크루즈에서의 광자포 러시. 와 저는 예상도
The sad
못했어요.
too, you had the all-in build for using immortals, but instead
이렇게 마지못해서 선택하셨잖아요. 제가
you
그
used
생각이 나서
proxy for the
놀랐는데
cannons.
맵비토 때부터 심리전을
But when you
시작하신
choose the
거네요.
maps, you say
맵 비토 때부터 경기 시작이라고
map.
생각을 하고 있기 때문에
He was
너무 또
gonna.
자신만만하게 터보 이러면 또 제 빌드 노출이 될 수도 있어서
If I say
그런 심리적인 부분도 했습니다.
네, 확실히 S급 선수의 차원이 다른 심리전 저희가 확인할
He's
수가
such a
있었습니다. 자 이렇게
S-class player.
실력부터 심리전에 판짜기까지 탄탄한 모습으로 2연속 4강을
He made
이뤄내는데요.
up to
와,
two
4강 상대
consecutive
조성호 선수와
semifinals.
이신영 선수 2명
In
중에
the
한
semifinals,
명입니다.
he's gonna
어떤 선수가 내
play
선수로
against
왔으면 좋겠다 원하시나요?
Trap or
저는 테란전이 좀 어려운 것 같아가지고 성호가 올라왔으면 좋겠고 그리고 성호가 제가 요새 성호 경기를 많이 봤는데 굉장히 잘하더라고요. 성호가 올라올 것 같아요.
I think he's gonna make it.
좋은 조성호 선수를 원하셨는데요. 자, 김정우 선수는 슈퍼토너먼트의 우승 기세를 몰아서 이번 시즌 우승에 도전합니다. 마지막으로 각오 전해주시죠.
Won the Super Tournament and
네,
now he's
응원해주셔서
making
너무 감사하고
way to finals to GSL Season 2. What are your
옛날에는 결승
determinations?
진출이 정말 멀고도 멀게
Previously,
느껴졌는데
I thought that making the finals
정말
is
열심히
really
하면
difficult,
할
but
수 있다라는
in recent
자신감이
days, I
있어가지고
feel really easy
4강전
to
준비 잘해서
make to the finals.
2연속 결승 갈 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
Now,
네, 다시
from now,
한번
I'm
진출
gonna
축하드립니다.
well
네,
prepare
감사합니다.
for the way to
네,
finals.
이렇게 2연속 4강에
And I
오른
gotta
김도우
make it
선수
to
만나봤고요.
consecutive
계속해서 8강 이벤트
All right,
안내해
sick. Classic. Classic is a murderer.
네, 먼저
Yeah, he really bashed Sue there. His preparation was very, very good. Sue was basically trying to stop what Classic was doing for the most part. It felt to me like he had a plan for game 1, and then after that just plans on stopping normal rushes, right? And it didn't quite work out for him.
No, yeah, I mean he just smashed through so hard. I'm kind of startled actually that we had a series that was I thought it was gonna be a little bit closer. At least you guys who tuned in time got to see the whole thing. We're gonna go to a short break. We come back. Our next best of 5.
자, 들어가서 하나씩 컨트롤 싸움 시작됐죠.
그래서 잡히기 싫으니까 함성 더 뺐죠. 차라리 일을 못하는 한이 있더라도 피해를 줄이면 자원수 결국 하니까요. 쫓아오니까 그냥 안 뚫었죠.
어우, 예, 불멸차 2기 역장으로 병력 좀 갉아먹고 있는 상황에 들어왔어요.
저는 불멸자를 못 줄여줄 거라면 파수기라도 줄여놔야 됩니다.
네, 불멸차 하나 지금 터뜨리고.
네, 근데 이 정도로는 당연히 부족한 건 알 거예요. 이제
들어갔어요.
이게 진짜죠.
수연 에너지도 있지 않나요?
네,
본진
하나. 대놓고.
네, 사도로 봤으니까 이거 뭐야? 야, 이거 너무 그냥 대충 수비하는 거 아니냐 느껴버렸죠.
트리플 깨져요.
하나는 좋아요. 트리플을 바로 포기해주면서 앞마당에 포자스 촉수 지어주고 번식지 왼쪽에 있는 분광기 데려와서 아케이드 해줘야 되는데 아케이드 안 하면 불멸자 들고
불멸자 들어요.
막힙니다. 막혀요.
비밀충이 많아서 담좀 무서워서 좀 전진빛 잘한 것 같은데.
네, 위로 찍고.
그래서 박명호 선수가 일벌레 도구랑 판단이 아주 좋았죠. 아케이드 컨트롤하기 쉽지 않죠.
터졌고 불멸자도 전멸.
불멸자 잡히면 바퀴 못 막습니다.
네, 건덕 위쪽에 있는 병력을 걷어낼 수가 없는 조지어 지제.
허리라인을 너무 쉽게 줬는데요.
잘 기다리고 있습니다.
허리라인을 너무 편하게.
하나,
둘. 들어갔어요. 와, 녹아요.
프리딜 나오는 구도가 없는데.
네.
이건 프로토스
기가 막히게
입장에선 교전 망했네요.
네, 거신 하나 지금 내려왔습니다만 뒤에 전차 3개의 앞방.
방해 매트릭스 한 번 더.
네, 여기서 이병력까지 할 수 있는 게 없어요.
이 경기는
네.
지제. 이거 봐도
놓칠 가능성이 있어요.
놓쳤는데요. 지혜가
들어와 싸움 거는데요.
EMP가 있나요? 고위기사에. 고위기사 EMP 다 들어가면 이거 프로토스 못 막아요.
데미지 들어갔어요.
이거 소고기 모드 풀때 덮치건 좋았는데.
그래도
화력이
네, 다 나가 떨어지고 있는 상황이거든요. 이병렬 막아야 됩니다. 김대영.
인구수가 70, 80 차이가 납니다.
더블 차이예요. 지뢰 들어오고 해방선까지.
야, 결국 테란 저 연합군이 프로토스
자, 내려서 견제 계속 이어나가고 있는 상황이거든요.
여기서 이제 의료선 끊어주는 이득이 나와야겠죠. 해병을 끊어주는 것까지는 조합을 갖추고 있는 보십시오, 짝이. 이거를 막아야 박영호도 원하는 병력이 나오거든요.
싸울 거면 지금 당장 싸우는데요. 근데 싸우지 않고 업그레이드가 되면 더 불리합니다.
그렇죠. 저글링 던져주면서 맹독 쿨을 빼주는 건 좋은데
생산에서 찍어 누르고 있다니까요.
병력 보세요. 계속 와요.
상대가 본진 3부화장이라면 나는 본진 쪽에 8병력을
네, 좀 내렸거든요. 링링인데
내린 순간부터
빨강 가고 싶다.
원신골이 안 됐거든요.
네.
여기
공성 모드 놓쳤어요.
터져요.
자 대신에 맹독충이 작곡 자리하죠.
와, 공성 모드 안 되는데.
네, 차차 쪽으로 좀 들어와서 이병렬. 와! 선수적 움직임 보세요.
야,
기가 막혔습니다 방금.
네, 주도권제 확실히 넘어왔잖아요. 자 그래서 이시영 선수는 어차피 이거 쥐어짜는 싸움 해야 된다는 걸 알아요. 작정했어요.
네, 싸우는데 해방선.
근데 결국 이신영이 이기려면 해방선이 버텨줘야 됩니다. 해방선이 버텨야 이겨요.
아 근데 방금 맹독충 좀 터진 거 아프긴 해요.
운영 싸움, 물량 싸움, 자원 싸움으로 앞서고 있어요.
와, 근데 그 좋았던 상황인데도 불구하고 박명호를 여기까지 몰아붙이는 이신영의 생산력도 그리고 운영도 너무 대단합니다.
네. 와, 이걸 마지막까지 항전하는 모습 이거는 의료선도 없어요.
이게 마지막 홀이죠.
지제! 저기 맞닥뜨릴 수 있거든요. 또 와요.
해병 잡히고 사신도
바로 끝났어요.
사신 살아야 돼요. 사신 살아야 돼요.
사신.
네 일단 언덕이는 사수해야죠. 네 저거 일벌레 초반에 확보 안 했기 때문에 그나마 난입을 허용하지 않은 건 다행인데 문제는 저거
깨져요.
바로
얘를 일단 바르고
네, 업그레이드 완성됐고 추가 병력 계속 나오고 있어요.
추가로 위에서 나오고 있습니다. 병력 더 나오고 있거든요.
네, 이 여차하면 이 부화장을 내줘도 됩니다. 본진까지만 밀리지 않으면 되는 거예요.
이게 추가 병력 뒷심이 없거든요, 테란이.
이신영의 극한의 컨트롤이 나오려면 불곰이 베이스여야 되는데
많아요.
해병 베이스라서 맹독충에 쓸리겠는데요.
쓸리고 이 병력 다 잡아주면 8강으로 갈 수 있죠. 자원이 없고요. 할 수 있는 게 없습니다. 뒷심이 없어요.
이걸 어떻게든 난전으로 한
지제! 저기 박명우 선수 이신영 선수를 잡아내면서 역전승으로 이겨내면서 가장 먼저 8강에 진출합니다.
이거 파수기랑 불멸자는 그냥 본진 위로 올라가는 게 낫지 않을까요? 앞마당에서
와요.
보호막 충전소 믿고 버티기엔 공명사도 화력이 취할 정도니까.
알아요.
와, 근데 추적자가 너무 빨리 빠지는 거 아닌가요?
네.
와서
여기서
조금 빠르게 빠진 느낌이 있어요.
충전소도 이미 좀 많이 파괴됐거든요.
네. 탐사정 온 거는 7호시까지 되는 겁니다.
1분까지 좀 싸우는데요. 이 싸움에서 밀리나요?
이거 불멸자 입장에서는 맛집인데요.
네.
그 탐사정 입장에선 가장 나이스한 타이밍에 동원이 됐어요.
멸차거든요. 정석을 몰아놓고.
아니 폰에 몰린 병력이 다 중장갑이라고?
네.
와 지금 불멸자들 행복하죠.
이거를 좀 몰아내야 되는데 금강기 깼습니다만 남은 병력.
근데 이거 추적자가 불멸자를 줄여주면서
네.
지제!
후방 소환 된 거 보니까 5개는 필요해 보이는데요.
네, 지금 여기 깨집니다. 터져요.
근데 단 하나.
이거는 김대엽 선수의 침착함이라면 이 유리함을 절대 안 내줄 거예요.
소방팩하고 좀 싸움 걸고 있습니다. 역장으로 막아두고요.
야 이건 불사조나로
구석에
감당이 안 됩니다.
네.
이런 경기에 역전당하려면 급해야 되는데 김대엽 안 급해요.
와, 침착하게 차분하게 코너 좀 몰아놓고 병력 숫자 줄이고 있어요.
1세트가 머릿속에 기억에 남고 2세트도 조금만 더 침착했다면 상황이 괜찮지 않았을까 하는 아쉬움이 남는 경기들입니다.
지제!
위험합니다. 데뷔를 했다 치더라도
그리고 이 타이밍에 FAK 들어오면 본인 쪽에 의료선 돌 수 있어서 이거 김대엽도 한 방에 밀릴 상황 보이는데요.
자, 대장갑 들어가 있는 상황에서 좀 붙지 못하고 보충수 깨졌습니다. 추가 병력 싸움에서 밀리고 있습니다. 이 병력 정리가 되고 있어요.
1세트는 이렇게 끝나겠는데요.
네, 타이밍 잡고 나온 이신현 선수 공격 앞에 무너지고 있는 김대엽 선수. 지제!
시야볼을 너무 잘해두긴 했는데
기습!
화면 놓쳤어요. 화면 놓치면 쳤어요. 이 화면을 놓치면 안 되는데요.
거신 2개 사냥됐어요.
네, 저 추가로 지금 나옵니다. 그래도
그래도 2개 거신. 네, 그나마 2개 거신.
네.
근데 절대 놓쳐서는 안 되는 화면이었는데 그 화면을 놓치면서 이미 조합이 깨졌죠.
추가 변력까지 나오고 반감하게
에너지 또 있지 않나요? 이거
일꾼까지 동원하고 있어요.
방금은 진짜 배가 날아오는 것처럼 엄청 빠른 진격전이었죠.
진짜 날카로웠죠.
산개 무조건 해놔야 돼요.
그렇죠. 폭풍 개발 지금 진행 중이고
아직 안 됐는데.
와, 타이밍.
그리고 이거 바이킹에 섞어서 포신이 이제 도움이 안 돼요.
터지고.
뒤를 안 보고
경기도 터지는데요.
이 경기는 황전사가 건설로봇을 다 잡아도 이 병력을 못 막습니다.
이
신형 사냥꾼인가요? 이거 완전 그냥 기습으로 그냥 2번이나.
네, 2번의 이 공격 지제. 한 박자 빠른 공격으로 이시영 선수가 김대엽 선수의 조합을 깨며 승리 따내고 8강에 올라갑니다.
Round of 8. (2019) Mountain Dew GSL Season 2 Codex Renaissance.
Hey everybody, welcome back. If you just now are tuning in, you missed the entire first best of 5, sorry. We're now going to go to the next best of 5 though. One Protoss is advanced, but honestly, as good as Sue is, I think Classic, it's no surprise he got through. It is kind of crazy how fast he smashed Sue.
He's a killer right now.
But I think he's the favorite to win this whole tournament, you know?
For sure. He keeps making the finals everywhere.
Now is the last hope of the Terrans.
That's true.
The humans. If you're listening to this, you're probably human.
Likely.
Or you're an alien intercepting this. That is right trying to get a copy of this game to play.
Truth be told, if you're listening to this, you're probably a bacteria, but you don't really know what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're just hearing the vibrations or feeling it.
By bacteria, I mean Protoss player, but... okay, so... You know, obviously innovation is a monster of a Terran. One of the greatest of all time. He's really one of the only players that is truly in the discussion for greatest of all time. If he were to win this season, I think you have to put him back at the top of the list. But regardless of that, I'm going to just kind of cite the games that I've seen so far this season. Oh, well, I guess we're going to look at the videos. So how about I just shut my mouth?
와, 이 형 떨어질 줄 알았는데 어떻게 살아서 올라왔네.
일단 도우 형만 봐도 옛날 테란 할 때는 못했는데 토스 하니까 우승하는 거 보면 테란 하면 우승 못할 사람들이 토스 하면 우승할 수 있거든요. 쉬워가지고. 성우도 만년 연두기 생활을 할 뻔했는데 토스라서 살았네요. 막 쉬운 상대까지는 아닌데 그냥 성우가 약간 실수해서 이길 것 같습니다.
네, 제가 그린 신영이 형입니다. 신영이 형 외모 전성기 때 이게 엑소야 이신영이야 소리 들을 때를 그려봤습니다.
그냥 성우 생각나는 대로 그리는데 표정이 약간 좀 항상 좀 진지하게 있는 것 같고 별다른 특징이 없는 사람인 것 같아요.
특별히 작게 그린 이유가 있나요?
뭐 키도 작으니까 작게 그린 거죠.
그냥 같은 타이밍에 이제 다른 테란들보다 물량을 잘 뽑는 것 같아요. 근데 또 질 때는 이름값 놓고 보면 와, 이렇게 추하게 지네 이렇게 생각이 들 때도 좀 많아요.
생각을 많이 하는 플레이를 하는 것 같고 좀 움직임이나 견제가 좋은 것 같아요. 맞춤 플레이를 할 것 같네요. 연습 상대가 많은 것 같으면.
무난히 하다가 센터 한 방 쾅 했는데 그거 싸먹히고 지거나 아니면은 분광기 하나 놓쳐가지고 분광기에서 소환되고 망했다 해서 정면 가지만 전병 병력 싸먹힐 때.
테란이라는 종족 자체가 할 수 있는 빌드가 없어요. 저그전은 땅굴 때문에 너무 빌드가 다 좁혀져 있고 토스전도 월에도 다 풀리해가지고 그냥 빨리 패치 안 하면 그냥 계속 게임 양상이 이렇게 될 것 같아요.
토스 선수가 이긴 사람도 다양하게 되잖아요.
다양한데 지잖아요.
너무 전투 숫자만 뽑는 적으로 의미가 멀치시네.
못하는 포스들 상대로 가능한 거라서 저는 항상 그 최고의 상대를 이길 수 있는 그런 운영을 하기 때문에 성우는 물량이 너무 없어요. 물량이 너무 없고 경험이 많이 없다. 무대 경험.
큰 무대 경험.
경력이 신는 거죠.
형이 올해는 성우가 우승하는 모습 꼭 보고 싶다고 했으니까 살살 해주세요.
열심히 준비하렴. 형은 그냥 편하게 쉬다 올게.
Round of 8.
Put your hands on your lap. Oh my God. No, that was super funny, man. Oh my God. Innovation in his balance winding will never end.
Innovation is an anime villain, okay?
Yeah.
He also had the highest grades in his class, just like you did.
Yeah.
And he also was top of his tennis team, just like you were.
That's right. But he normally wins in the end.
That's right.
He's the best type of villain.
Well,
we do need to have more things where the bad guy wins.
Yeah, I agree. Why do the good guys always have to win?
And then there's like a season 2, and you're like, oh, this is where they're going to get him, but then he wins in season 2 as well.
Yeah.
And it keeps going like that. I think that would be great.
Well, this match is going to be fun, and it should be longer than the one we just had. That was a shockingly short series, under an hour.
Yeah.
But that being said, we'll see. Trap might do some crazy builds or strats. You know, all you have against Terran right now is Trap is all you need to break.
Wait, what?
Let me rephrase that.
Say that again?
Everything that you've got against Terran right now is use it up, because you're not going to have any more Terrans in the tournament.
Oh, okay, because you said everything you have against Trap.
As it came out of my mouth, I thought, no, I'm actually, I'm setting this statement up incorrectly.
Yeah.
Basically, you don't need to hide anything. A lot of times good players will pocket builds for later parts of the tournament because they have other Terrans, they've got to face off against. Not in this GSL. Whatever Trap's got, the very best, it's going to be this right now. Innovation, a long road ahead. Many more Protosses to come.
Jin Air Green Wings. Trap. Reciprocity. Innovation.
So, I think obviously nothing will be left on the table here. Innovation played very similar games. Very similar games against Stats. Just in his group in general, he played kind of the same style quite a few times. So I'm hoping he brings a little bit more than that. Keep calm and make a big trap. The sad thing is that's probably on a t-shirt somewhere in London. But yeah, it was interesting to see him say during the series where it's like, yeah, there's no actual strategy, there's no builds that you can use. And then they're like, Gumiho uses a lot of builds. He's like, yeah, and he loses with all of them, right? So
yeah,
you kind of see his mindset there that he really thinks the way that he's been playing is the right way to play. I don't think it's like a bad way to play the way he's been playing. I don't know. I wonder if he's going to show that same type of thing. Just the 3 racks, maybe a couple Widow Mines, go out and medevac for a little bit and come back, a couple siege tanks, take your third wall, pressuring, that type of thing.
Well, that's going to be for something down there. Little proby guy.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He's going to hide something down there. Here comes Innovation's Reaper now. If he's pretty thorough with scouting, assuming a pylon is built down there, he's going to notice something's missing. But for now, we have a sentry coming out. Reaper rotating around into the natural.
Yeah, I want to know what he's...
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought he would have had a pylon there by now. There's a robo starting over there in the main.
Maybe... no, I don't know what that's going to be for, but there's a number of things it can do, right? With a robo coming up, though, that kind of limits my ideas of what it might be. At first, I was like, oh, maybe DT, but you want to go Twilight before robo, because the Dark Shrine takes like 4,000 years to build or so.
By the way, he did not see the robo at all, even though the Reaper Scout came in.
Just coming up with the Adept. A little bit of scouting going on. What is that probe doing? Maybe he'll just hide at Nexus. I mean, SOS is on his team.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot you can do with a hidden probe later on in the game, Maybe because it's going to be a macro game, maybe he wants to hide some, obviously not there, but pylons somewhere outside of where his third's going to be taken, or You know, just so his natural doesn't get hit as well. I mean, there's always utility you can get with a hidden probe for sure. But yeah, I assumed when I saw that down there, he was immediately going to be building something. Good catch by Innovation, by the way.
True.
Killing the first Adept.
Look at what we see here. Okay, so combat shields, making Marauders, Marines, Cyclone. Siege tank on the way. Huh. No starport though, right? It's kind of interesting.
No starport here. So Stalkers are coming out now. Now the first Cyclone catches this. They both disengage in that moment.
Is he just going to do a push real quick with this? Like,
I guess so.
You normally wouldn't just start stockpiling Marauders right now.
I guess he is. What's funny about this, though, is that we have Immortals coming out. By the way, the Observer spots that. Here comes a tank.
You know, looking at that little group of bio moving out at this time, like those units, if we take the 2 mech units out, you just showed me that screenshot. Like, yeah, this is a Wings of Liberty game.
Yeah.
They're moving out without their medevac. They're hoping the force field doesn't hit the ramp.
Peg's the first Observer.
This is interesting. He's got the Immortal. I mean, good force fields can make a huge difference in a situation like this. Charge is on the way, which is kind of interesting as well. 2 bases sitting here making Immortals go and charge.
Looks like he's setting up in siege mode to see if Protoss would pursue and eat some tank volleys. But he's not, so he unsieges, and he might try to push in again here. Good hallucination scout there.
Yeah.
So he's trying to fake movement here. But it appears, at least for now, like, well, hold on. I was going to say it looks like Terran's committed, but he seems to be turning around now.
You know what?
And maybe this is a wise decision.
If he goes home in Turtles, then this build is just the most interesting thing that we've seen all day, I think.
Oh, I would agree with that.
Because that type of pressure, that was almost like he was playing against a Zerg player, and he's like, I need you to not make drones. And the thing is, we're looking at Trap do a very weird build. Like, this is not like a normal strategy where you're like, you know what, I'm going to go Robo, I'm going to get 2 Immortals and go charge, and then add some gates on 2 base, by the way. That's not, like, optimal, but it's something that could potentially crush one of these early siege tank pushes, right? So maybe turtling up from here as Innovation?
Well, this is kind of an odd situation, Artosis, because we have 2 builds that aren't normally used interacting with each other.
Yeah.
You know?
It's very cool.
We had the Robo come out immediately, and then Immortals were there, and the Twilight Council later on, and Storm coming. But yeah, he had those Immortals that kind of poked out, and then on the other hand, Terran did not get any early medevacs. Instead, came out here with the Marauders and Marines and the tanks with siege mode. Hitting over there. You know, it looks like he was going to try to utilize siege mode to do a push. But obviously, when he gets over there and sees the Immortals, he can't just...
No.
He can't just commit to that.
It was a solid turnaround, and his third base is like as quick, or maybe just a tiny bit quicker than Trap's, which is definitely not always the case in this matchup. So already he's got good things going for him. There's no upgrades for Trap, right? Trap is like he's going up to 3 bases, but okay, finally starts his +1 armor. It's not that he can't transition into a long game from this, but this is not a super optimal build that he's done.
Okay, great scans here once again. Picks off the Observer. Now here comes the counterattack. A Warping in the main, and I don't see... Oh, actually, there is a little bit over here. I don't know if this is going to be enough necessarily, though. The Widowmines are going to bro down here. It looks like they both will manage to get the plant, and they hit the Warp Prism, which is huge.
Wow.
However, there are so many Zealots over here. These SCVs have to be evacuated, and already I think Innovation's base may begin to rot from the inside out.
Well, he's going to clean up the Zealots now. He lost 9 SCVs. That's definitely a lot, but a couple drops coming. Let's see. Oh, no. Oh, no. Ooh, does turn around. But the third base is right below him. I don't know if he even realizes that, because that is not the normal third base location on this map. Just going to drop on that probe.
I think he actually might try to reinforce for a second here. He's going to pick up again and look for an opening.
You know, if Innovation decides to attack, it really comes down to Psystorms.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something that he wants to do right now. I think that the 9 SCV loss he can eat. It's not that big a deal, right? Well, I mean, it's 9 SCVs, right? But he got a Prism. There was a lot of Zealots that died. There was a High Templar that lost its High Templar life. And he's got 3 command centers up, right? He's not down that many workers.
Scan over here, looking for any kind of opening. And by the way, this little drop is keeping Trap pretty honest. I wonder if Trap might have slightly overextended there by losing the Warp Prism. I guess it would not have been a strategic error, but tactically the Widowmines did poke down the Warp Prism, and now he can't really...
I almost felt like they weren't both in range, but then they just kill him like, oh, that's cool too. Yeah,
it was right at the limit for that. But yeah, because now Innovation is continuing to grow, there's no harassment option until another Warp Prism comes down there.
Yeah, and look, he's getting his second eBay, and he's going to be ahead in upgrades. He got his third base on time with Protoss. He's getting into his Ghost Academy. Like, Innovation's playing a really good game right now with a very interesting opener. I'm excited. If this is the type of stuff he's bringing, like, maybe this is a season where Terran can win again.
He actually used kind of an interesting build at the start, but he's transitioned into just macro play.
Yeah.
He's just trying to come out and outgrow him, and we're kind of seeing that occur organically here with the supplies. Let's see if the Storm gets off. Okay, actually, the majority of the drop is still going to come in here and do a decent amount of damage. Chased out now.
Yeah, looks like he'll back up for now. You know, I love what we see as well. The Ghosts coming out, some Liberators coming out as well. And then Colossus Tech over on Trap's side of the map, as well as finishing out his Blink and getting his 2 Forges going. So both these guys really getting into a nice macro game, and that's kind of a strength for both of them. Innovation says Trap doesn't macro well enough, but that's not the only thing that there is in the late game. Nailing your transitions, keeping your upgrades going, things like that can be more important in a lot of ways than just having a few extra Zealots.
Well, I would also say that harass is very important here. When you're in a late game and you're both maxing out, if Terran can pick up and go somewhere Protoss isn't, then certainly you're going to be able to do a lot of damage very quickly, as can you start to use big warpins with the gaps in your supply. Whoa!
That was awesome.
That was like as good as that could have possibly ever gone for Protoss.
That was really good.
Every ability was cast out perfectly.
And he forced to cancel that command center.
Nicely done.
It didn't even feel forced. It was more like Innovation just canceled it, but builds it up a little bit further back. So that slows him down. The 4th base is going to be finishing up here for Trap, who's adding 2 Colossus at a time, really filling out his unit composition. As far as Innovation goes, yeah, he has Liberators and is producing Liberators. We do not see a Fusion Core yet for range, though.
Okay, trying to bait an attack in here. And look, this Protoss never got to do anything with his life.
He was waiting for that Marine.
That's right.
Little did he know.
Don't be that probe in your life, guys.
Yeah, there was a Marine in there waiting for him. Wow, that was a weird prism. Anyways, kills that off. I gotta say, this is actually a really interesting game. I kind of really like the way that they're both playing. Like, Trap is just doing everything very solidly, and he's being careful and making sure he gets into these late game compositions that are really strong. But I almost feel like Innovation has been more in charge in a lot of ways. You know?
Sure. I do like the direction that Innovation's, at least as far as ideas go, what he's been trying to do this game. I'm worried, though, Trap, now that he's got Storm, you know, he's getting more Colossi out here. It seems like he's not having any problems with the tools that are at his disposal. He's also done a good job. For instance, we see Ghosts over here by Innovation. Trap's done a good job keeping the Templars out of the Ghost range.
Yeah. Okay, these Liberators coming into play now. That is a lot of Psy Storm, so he's got to be careful about that. No EMPs going off.
Okay, Storm's on the Liberators. Looks like the Ghosts may be able to come in here and abuse. Yep. Abuse some of the terrain on the map where the Protoss units had to loop around some of that high ground area. Some redo-dat, I guess.
Ridiculous storms. Just absurd storms coming out of Trap here. So much damage dealt. And by the way, he is getting his Prism speed and going into 3 Stargates for Tempest. Some Vikings on the way here for Innovation. It's always a question we got to ask is this going to switch into a very air-heavy game for the Terran player?
Yeah. We're at the point where the map is possibly going to get slowly cut in half. In PvT, it's not absolutely required that one race always has one more base than the other, like it is in the Zerg matchups, where the Zerg kind of has to be Zergy and stay ahead. So we want to watch and see, you know, how this goes, who's the last to take a base over here. But first, let's check out this engagement that's over here. Liberation Zone's thrown down as the infantry tries to close into this, but it looks like all the Colossus survive.
Wow.
Damn.
That is a lot of Colossus. I'm even surprised he made 5, but okay, cool. Tempest on the way. A lot of Vikings being made. So since a huge part of his army is going to be Tempest and Colossus, this switch into Vikings is a really smart one, a very strong one for Innovation.
I would love to see if Trap could get in there. Oh my god, great Storm again. If he could actually just come in there and hit the bottom center. There's not a lot of Liberators over here, and the Colossi can be pretty damn good against infantry. Even with Marauders, when you have this many Colossi, it's not a bad fight at all.
It's 5 Colossi, and there's 3 Immortals in there, and Innovation's running in with his Bioforce. It's a tough trade.
This is a really difficult position for Innovation to fight from. He doesn't quite have enough directly underneath the Liberators. He's having to choose which side he wants to have covered. At the moment that they cover the bottom side, for instance, we see then from the top, in comes Trap with some good Size Storms, Archon, Zealots. Stalkers warping in. Oh, Tempest in here in the back. Now that the Liberators are going to move up, we want to watch the bottom part of this fight. Assuming we get it on camera. There it is. So the Colossi and Stalkers are then going to come in here. They're driving this away now. Are they going to push the Planetary? I actually thought they were going to try to go for this bottom 6 o'clock expansion, but I guess Trap's going to just roll with it and see where he can go now that he's here.
Yeah, well, he's catching some of these Stalkers, which is kind of nice. They do mostly blink away. Innovation in a bit of a tough spot. Look at how many Stalkers. Just the power of this army of Trap is really, really scary right now. It's right on Innovation's doorstep. Oh my gosh.
Okay, now we have Trap basically in the middle of everything, but if Trap can win this fight, it's going to be very difficult for Terran, for Innovation to try to keep this game going here, and I think he's done it. GG, Trap takes game number 1. Now, I want to say, the infiltration of Innovation's, kind of the heart, the apex of where all of his bases were spread out through, that was beautifully done.
Yeah.
I mean, he really just kind of tore Innovation at the seams, abused at times the lack of infantry in certain locations, at times the lack of Liberation Zone coverage. Got in there, and look, I thought he was going to play in what we would call like a conservative attack, taking the free base and killing that. Instead, Trap edged his way in, moved past the Planetary onto the high ground. Above that area where the Planetary is useless, but the workers are exposed. That forces everything to get pulled, because if you stay there long enough, Terran just loses the game. We saw Terran pull some workers. It was not enough. And Innovation died it.
He did died it. Yeah, I mean, it was well done. I like how Innovation made Trap kind of play a funky build, a bit on the defensive, and went forward with his own plans. But I think Trap's positioning of High Templars there for some flanking storms and his timing of going into 2 Robo Colossus were both impeccable. And really helped him out there.
Thunderbird for map 2. We're ready to go. Let's go.
Jin Air Green Wings. Trap. Reciprocity. Innovation.
Humans!
Well, down a map right now. That was a pretty fair macro game, really, right? They were both just kind of going slightly conservative. Never did see that Liberator range. Didn't see Innovation get out on the map too much for harassment either.
Now, in that game, it's kind of a weird situation because we had odd builds interacting with each other. Probably a frustrating moment for Innovation, who we typecast as being the most robotic player in StarCraft 2 for a lot of StarCraft 2. And I'm not saying that as a knock on him. I mean, his macro games are insane. His control is impeccable. But normally we expect to see textbook builds with very clean play that slowly kind of in a geometrical advantage just edge in further and further and take over. And then he comes out with one of those builds where the last part of the build is you put your sunglasses on and he doesn't get to do it.
Yeah. I think that just the fact that he moved out and then went home,
that showed he was a smart player.
It's a beautiful thing. You don't see that from Terran players too much, where
they're
walking out with the Force like that, and then It could have been his plan from the get-go, right? It's definitely a possibility. He didn't have starport or anything, but yeah, I think that he made a lot of cool choices there. And I want to see if he's gonna, like, is that like his new build, right? Because sometimes he does bring like a limited number of builds. I guess we'll see.
It is a sign of an excellent player, though, when you know to actually walk away. And I'm not talking about when more than half your army's dead and you're cursing at your monitor. I mean, when you just get out there and you say, if his build was in fact intended to be a timing attack and he got out there and said, okay, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
We gotta try something else.
It could be the case. Like, I mean, that he may have, like, I think that there will be times where he attacks with that all the way. I think for sure there must be. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. But
I think, honestly, Protoss has gotten a little bit greedy with some of these Blink builds.
Oh, yeah.
And, Blink builds are, I think, most of the time, I mean, there are exceptions to everything in StarCraft, but I think most of the time a Blink build is actually at thwarting a drop or Widow Mines, right? Because it's kind of a matter of, can you get there before things start to spiral out of control. But I would not say that the Stalkers are necessarily good against a strong push like that in moments like that, where you just set up, and then Blink doesn't matter because Siege Mode is being utilized, your Nexus is being hammered, and you might just lose because we saw Protosses at the start of this year and at parts of this season punish Terrans who are getting a little bit too greedy.
I think you're right.
But that can be a pendulum swing where then the Protosses say, okay, we got him. Now let's see how much we can eke out in tech here. And Innovation seemed to have some kind of, I mean, I might be wrong, but it seemed like that was a build that could absolutely come in there and punish somebody who was being a little bit too greedy on that side as well.
Yeah.
Really, Blink here. I'm sorry, Blink, not Cloak here. Excuse me. Very different abilities.
What would be more deadly, Stalkers with Cloak or Banshees with Blink?
Banshees with Blink. Stalkers with Cloak, you just get detection and shoot them down. Do Stalkers still have Blink? You Stalkers with Blink and Cloak? I tell you what, still Banshees with Blink.
Well, you get them so early, though. It'd be so strong.
Ooh, that's true.
Right
that's true.
Yeah. Have to open with a sport in front of your base? No, thank you. Okay, so Trap is going into Robo here, right? And, I mean, obviously, Observers are going to help him out against the Cloak Banshees. The Raven coming up, I'm wondering, is he going to go directly into Colossus? It certainly seems that way right now, but it doesn't 100% have to be, especially as he throws down the Twilight and Forge at the moment. So this could just be kind of a counterplay to the Banshee harassment. Oh, and they're making some Immortals as well, okay. Oh, a second factory. All right.
Okay.
Very cool.
That Banshee's coming up now. Cloak's activated. They'll have to try to come over here to the upper right where the battery can't get any good coverage here. Maybe even go up to the natural. It looks like the Phoenix is... Are they aware? Is he aware that this is in his base? I guess not. Now he will now.
Yeah. Observer coming down. It's just above here right now. So the shield battery is definitely helping out. Oh! Stay on top of that trap. All right, so he's going to eliminate that.
So far, this is going quite well here for Trap. Not that Innovation's going to lose or anything, but, you know. First three moves, not bad. And we've got, as you were saying, Artosis Innovation meching up.
Yeah, as of right now, I don't believe that he's aware that this is mech. Hopefully, for his sake, he'll find out pretty quickly here. Yeah, I think when you're starting to see this number, he's going to dive in, and this is going to be able to confirm it. Wow, he gets the Raven. That's actually a very nice kill.
Yeah, considering a lot of the Raven early on has been used to try to, hinder the Protoss in some pushes here. Not a bad catch. In fact, if you had to catch anything, that's probably the best thing you could catch.
Oh, yeah. That's the most valuable unit over there for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, getting a siege tank can be cool, especially if you're about to attack. But yeah, it's such an important unit. So now we get to see how Trap wants to play against mech play. He's already gotten Charge on the way, right? He's been making a couple Mortals here and there. He had Psystorm going, which I think all that stuff is fine. But is he going to play aggressively? Is he going to just take a bunch of expansions and try to crush the army when it comes out? It's kind of a long map. I wouldn't be surprised if this gets into a big macro game.
Yeah, I would love to continue to have more macro games here, especially just for that short series.
Yeah. Well, I want to see some of Innovation's new and improved mech play, because when we saw it, like for instance against Patience, it's like Patience just attacked him with an army that thought he was going bio and killed him. And I'm like, oh my god, that's not how it's supposed to go. You know?
Yeah.
Your opponent doesn't know what you're going for and then kills you with their army anyways.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well this couldn't have been planned out that well.
You go, huh? And your stuff attacks in and it's over.
Like, oh wow, he doesn't have any Marines Marauders.
What is he doing? So Traps moving out on the map as he's taking this 4th base here.
Yeah. Blue Flame is
right
on the way.
We have a lot of tanks being added into this mech army. Now, Cyclones and Hellions, with the way mech operates in this current iteration of StarCraft, this is the army that can poke and try to pick fights. It used to be, you know, way back when it was just Hellions would try to come in and suicide onto workers, but now with the Cyclones here, you can kind of pick fights with stray units.
Yeah.
But it's not that strong. You know, the core of this, and we're seeing this in the production tab here, is the tanks, which are coming out 3 at a time. Now, when he gets enough of these tanks, he's going to try to set up. And the thing about siege tanks, even though there are some units like, you know, on paper, Immortals are good against siege tanks. The siege tank on ground, if it's in siege mode, gets to fire first as an army comes in. And a lot of times, if you have so many of them, it doesn't matter what's on the receiving end of that. It's going to take so much damage that you're probably going to win the fight in the long run as Terran anyways.
Yeah, a critical mass of siege tanks actually does start to beat Immortals.
Yeah. Now, one thing to note, though, and by the way, we're having tanks come out 5 at a time now, is if these tanks get caught out of position, let's say they're sieging up, or they're simply in a bad spot and the Protoss can come in there and start to tear them apart, that would be the single indicator that Terran is in terrible shape as the game moves onward, is if the siege tanks are picked off.
Yeah, he definitely needs these tanks to give him a lot of value moving forward here. Very strong army out here from Innovation. Just about maxed out. Wow, Trap having quite a hard time right now. Wow, the Cyclones just wrecking.
Oh my god, and these 3 Immortals are now it's down to 1 Immortal. Storm's coming. Now again, every time Terran has to siege and unsiege. So if Protoss can make the Terran siege, great. You're trying to buy time until you have a real answer here. But Innovation already maxed out. The Cyclones are doing a great job of using retreating units. Now he's going to move down here.
Yeah, he's trying to flank, but actually that was like half of a move command. Good Ice Storm goes off on the siege tanks in the center. The Stalker's starting to blow up, though.
Damage was not distributed very well there. It's like every Terran unit was hit, but none were killed. And so a push further south will probably clean up this expansion down here, even leaving some siege tanks here to chip away at anything that's going to try to come in here and defend that.
Yeah, and look at this. Now that he's got the Blue Flame Hellbats here, the Charge Lot's having a hard time getting in. Wow. Very, very strong play there by Innovation. Nothing really bad happened to Trap early on. You know, he kind of couldn't deal with what Innovation brought to him.
Yeah. Beautifully done. Yeah, I think even if Trap had tried a different angle, I don't know if he would have gotten a better engage there. We saw the Storms come down on the tanks. None of them died because there wasn't any follow-up damage to them. The angling was pretty rough there, too. So nicely done by Innovation. He's switched it up. We're now 1-1.
Our next map going to be GSL Cobalt.
Yeah.
So a very, very different map. It's our only 4-player map in the pool right now. We've seen a wide variety of strategies. Proxy gates in the center, hidden bases all over the place. Well, let me stop talking about SOS for a moment. Trap is playing. You know,
well, we've had 2 games where Protoss went for hidden base, right?
I believe they were both SOS games, weren't they?
No, the other one was somebody else. Because we were trying to figure out who was the other guy that did it. And then we figured it was SOS. I thought.
Okay.
All right, so
now we're going to do that in reverse.
All right, game 3 is ready. Let's go.
I think it might have been parting.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Jin Air Green Wings. Trap.
Trap smiling. You don't normally see any emotion on anybody's face at the start of the game.
reciprocity, innovation.
So we're back onto a 4-player map.
Yeah.
You have 4-player maps for 1-on-1 maps, 3-player maps, 4-player maps have kind of been the norm throughout StarCraft history. Leaning a little bit more towards 2-player maps, 1-on-1 maps lately, but it's good to kind of cycle through different periods of types of maps.
I think it's very interesting to finally have a 4-player map that's getting a bit of play. So that's cool. Trap actually goes cross-spawn scout. And, you know, this is something that you will sometimes do because you have a different strategy or a different take on how to play when they're that far away from you. So he gets a scout innovation first, which is a very, very powerful thing. We'll see when innovation gets to him. But as of right now, Trap leading with that information advantage.
Would you say that Terran can go mech on this, or is this map just too big?
It is so big.
It's too massive. Because, you know, when we would cast more games of players going mech, it was a different period in StarCraft, right? I wonder if that style would work more now. It seems like players are much better at the mobile style of mech. Just so you guys know, historically, mech usually was synonymous with turtling and you know, fragility early on. I don't know if that's really the case as much anymore right now.
It's not, yeah.
in this state of Legacy of the Void.
Even in StarCraft 1, it's not really like that anymore. But
yeah, that's a good point.
You know what? I could see him going mech, but if he did, I feel like it might be like even a BC build. So I don't think we're going to see that. You know, I think we'll see bio, but hell if I know. That last build even caught me a little bit off guard. Very cool, though, with the amount of siege tanks that early on.
Yeah, I had to check the ID there. Who's playing? Innovation's playing?
Innovation?
Innovating? What?
So Twilight.
Okay.
Let's see what he does with this. This be like a DT drop or something? It's that pylon, right? Where do you put that? Yeah, I see where the pylon is. Okay, so it's actually Blink. Never mind.
I would imagine this would just be defensive Blink, right? Cross
well,
spots.
He's got a pylon up at the top of the map, so I'm not 100% sure, but it's not. The thing is, the map is so big, it's not that close to innovation anyways.
With the robo being made here, if he sends an observer up, we've seen that before, where they try to pop up in there and Blink. I would just be surprised if he did it this far away, but I guess you could. You know, one thing that happens, though, when you have the Blinks that come in, like, you know, when you're talking about the proxy pylon over there, if he does do that, usually what happens is the Terran's dropping as that occurs, at least with some of the other games we've seen. And then the idea is that you kind of do more damage than the Widow Mine drop does, assuming that you control well back at home. But still, I guess actually, no, now that we're thinking out loud here, I guess the drop takes that much longer to get across the map as well.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe you start doing damage ahead of that.
After the initial travel time for Protoss, you have the instantaneous warp-ins too, which can make strategies like that deceptively strong.
Also, I guess with the recall as well, you want to come back home, maybe you can try to handle it that way too.
Yeah, that's definitely
so I guess all those things factor together. Yeah, I guess this actually is a pretty good build.
Well, he's making a third Nexus, so not going to get aggressive with this. Meanwhile, innovation looks pretty standard overall. It's kind of teching up normally. Look at that. He actually sacks the Adept. I think that's a really good play. I think that is so worthwhile if he leaves his door down to get up there and see exactly which buildings he has, because now there's like nothing that he has to guess about. Look at that. He insta-throws down 2 forges, realizing that innovation can't really push anytime soon, right? He's going into like a 3 barracks play. You've got to wait for your stim. You've got to wait for your +1. It's not going to be scary before then. And it's such a long walk across the map anyway. So now Trap has a very fast 3rd base and a very fast double forge. This is, I mean, I just look at what's going on and it feels good for Trap.
Yeah. I think he's
not that innovation is behind, but you know.
No, but he's ticking all the boxes for like a really good late game setup here. And to be in a healthy spot. By the way, TVP, when you're on cross spots on 4-player maps that are this big, I mean, these are usually the games that are, it's incredibly hard for either side to really finish the other one off.
Oh, it definitely can.
Yeah, I mean, the games can go on for an insanely long period of time.
Well, that's something that is, I think, an interesting aspect of Terran, that in these spots, imagine, right? You start beating Protoss over somewhere on his side of the map, but your rallies take so long to get there that it actually can be hard to finish them off. I almost feel like you've got to, in a close game, you're going to basically have to make the Protoss like run out of resources or something, right?
Yeah, kind of do some sort of exhaust play.
Because, yeah, again, if it's close, the Protoss is gonna be able to kind of reinforce, and reinforcement distance is kind of a big deal. You know, we see so many games where we're like, oh, he's gonna hold, and then the reinforcements get there, and it's like, no, he's not. But here it's like, oh, he's gonna hold. Yep, he held. Reinforcements are still only halfway
It's too hard
across.
to kill somebody in these spots.
Could be. Now, we haven't really seen any macro games in these spots, so.
All right, this is in some ways highlighting just how far of a travel distance it really is to get across on this map. And this is where you can actually see Stalkers utilized way better.
You watch him just kill him with this first thing, Tasteless.
Jeez. Let's see. First Widowmine. Oh my god, the Widowmine lives too.
That was surprising. Not the greatest right there. Okay, a charge in. Wow.
Yeah, great Widowmine connect there.
And that auto turret was just awesome. All right, Innovation trying to rally down right now. More and more reinforcements coming out for Trap. He's trying to hold on.
Widowmine shoves
pushing
forward.
Back.
We have some more reinforcements just not far out.
Look at the way he's utilizing his vision over this smoke screen. This is beautifully done by Innovation. Of course, no flying units here for Trap. He's having a hard time as he pokes through the smoke.
Good snipe on the Widowmines. He might be able to get one more. Scan over here so we can get an exact idea of how much is remaining. That Raven just one shot away from being picked off. Good kiting here, but I think there might be too much a disable here on this Immortal.
Yeah, that's a big disable as well. He actually powers it down immediately. But look, it's kind of coming true where these reinforcements from Innovation are taking quite a bit of time to get across this map.
Very cool dogfight here in the middle of the map, this tug of war back and forth, but unless I think, you know, Terran can get an overwhelming advantage, which would probably be something like killing an Immortal or even two, like when the second one comes up here, I don't imagine that Terran can win with this push, right? But as I say that, look, he takes the Zealots out. There's the Immortal that I was saying he might need to kill. Looks like it's going to get targeted down. There's no War Prism here.
You know, I think that this is a gigantic mistake from Trap to be fighting here. Because he's getting closer to Innovation's reinforcements, and he's getting further from his own. So he's kind of working against everything we were just talking about.
I think you're exactly right. Once the Terran's backed up, you got to stay with your own Warpins. The Terran army has to walk by feet or otherwise get ported in a medevac, you know, that's boosted, and that's not that much more quick here. And what you're really trying to do is just hold off and hope that they're overextending.
Yeah, well, Trap opened up trying to get very fast upgrades, right? So why not just utilize that as your advantage? Just get up to your 2-2 as quickly as possible, play a nice defensive game, and you're golden.
You know, one thing for Trap is he needs to get just the right tech up, like just enough Immortals, a Warp Prism with the army, a Warp Prism maybe on the other side of the map, to where he can really feel okay. And so losing that Immortal back there is a pretty big deal. Now, over here, Innovation's going to go for a drop. There are, I believe it was, what was that, 4 Stalkers?
Yeah, 4 Stalkers, maybe 5, a cannon there. He's well defended all over. Innovation's not going to find a way in.
I'm a little bit surprised to even see Innovation try to push there. That just seems like such a pipe dream to win in a push against Trap in cross spots.
He was actually doing very well with it for a while. He was whittling down the army slightly, but you know, Trap had good enough micro, good enough macro to hold on. Innovation did expand behind it all. His armory maybe slightly late, and now he's going to be down 2 upgrades. So that makes me worried for him.
So now Trap's going to push out. Now there's the second Warp Prism that he has that's going up towards the main here. And he's going to start warping it over there. Meanwhile, this army is chasing the Terran army back. And this is exactly where the third base is now. It's a narrow bridge, so it's not easy to push up that kind of crooked bottleneck area that we have over there. The warping's happening, though. I think Trap might try to rotate around in between the natural and the third base and try to do a push over there. And look at this aggro dropping on top of some of this army here with the Zealots. He picks the rest up and flies away. The Warp Prism with plenty of shields remaining here. And this map control is now going to Trap.
I am actually a little bit surprised that he didn't rotate around and try to hit the third from another angle, even if just lightly. I think that could have been a good opportunity for him, but you know what? He backs up. He's doing just fine. He's got fantastic upgrades. He's getting some splash damage. He's keeping Innovation busy. These are really important things for him to do right now.
Again, another Warpin over here. Looks like there's a Viking out to try to chase away that Warp Prism, but you know, you can hide a Warp Prism pretty well on a map that's this big.
Yeah.
Having a Viking might not be enough. He's going to instead head northbound, Trap is. Now, even though the area for the third base, if he comes from the angle that's not that bridge, it's more open. It's still one of the more congested areas just in general. Not on this map specifically, but there's a lot of smoke screens and there's some ramps and stuff. So Terran could try to utilize some of that in trying to hold off this attack. But instead, Trap is taking a main in the bottom right.
Yeah.
And again, this is the third time we've, now this is in a hidden base, but it's the third time we've had another main taken here by Protoss. This season.
Well, this is a more reasonable time to take it, right? He's got a gigantic army, has the threat of attacks.
By the way, I think the main take is actually the correct expansion move here. I don't think you want to take any other expansion but a main. Right?
Not even the slightly closer bases?
I don't think so, man. I think a main is better. Get some warp-ins set up over there to try to defend that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you're not gonna play aggressively right now, like just pressure play like we see here, I think that it's pretty smart. But look at this Innovation coming across the map. Has a good amount of ghosts. The counter warp in instantaneously, though. These are the powerful moves for such a large map. It takes a long time for Innovation to get home, but some good building placement, some SCV drilling going on there.
Yeah, I think we really will just see the exhaust play from Trap. I don't believe that there's not enough to incentivize Trap to try to come in here for a killing blow unless it's handed to him.
Yeah.
Think about this. Terran can't take the upper left main and hold that, but Protoss can take the bottom right main and hold that. And there's just not that many more expansions on this map you can grow out on, too.
Yeah, it would be hard, I think, to take, like, the top left for Terran. Now that you say it, like, yeah, you have a planetary, but if you dedicate a bit of an army there and have a recall to get it out, then I think you can probably snipe it,
or even put, you know, stalkers behind the mineral patches or something.
Deny the mining, that's not too hard.
You could do kind of the bare minimum, and I think hold that off. Innovation going to try to do a push. I don't believe this is going to be too effective. We're seeing now Trap's army engulf what's remaining of Innovations here. Innovation continuing to kite back. Some Liberators coming in, reinforcements coming down as well.
Yeah, no splash damage there for Trap for quite some time due to the nice ghost play. And if he can take down these Immortals, maybe there's a chance, but Innovation's army is starting to dwindle a little bit. He's stimming units across the map to try to catch up. Going after these, oh my god, the Immortals starting to go down.
The Marauders heroing their way through. There is the counter, the Immortal there, but it's not going to be enough against that many Marauders. Can Innovation make this work, though? He's all the way on the other side of the map. He's basically used up his expansions in his quadrant of the map. I think we're going to see Mass Archon come in here with Zealots and everything else. Immortals as well, just warping in. Anything he can assemble as fast as possible to try to hold up this attack.
Well, 3-3 Archon Zealot should be able to eliminate this gigantic Marauder-based army, I would say, right? That's like
let's see if he can
ridiculous upgrades, and it's hard to kite against Archons correctly. You can't slow them down.
More reinforcements from Innovation are coming down, and I think he's starting to do it. I mean, the kiting is pretty perfect here. Great usage of the War Prism there to try to juggle the Archons.
Yeah, but he is getting a few connected hits. Innovation continuing to rally down right now. Oh my god, does he have to get out of here?
Dude, Innovation is so good.
He's playing a beautiful game.
He gets that last Archon. Now, right now, it's just this expansion over here for Trap. There's not that much that it can really do damage over here. I love the Liberator setup over here to try to help fight.
Yeah. He's doing a great job, but the Immortal juggling, doing a very good job against these Marauders as well.
Did we get a vision check? Does Innovation actually know that Trap has the bottom right? I'm wondering what his mindset is.
I do not think he knows, Tasteless. I think if he knows, it is a very quick play to send something down there. Even if it's just a very small force.
Because thinking he has one base versus this one base we see here and the main is a very big difference in how you're viewing where you're at as a Terran.
Okay, so that was, I mean, it was an impressive push by Innovation, no doubt there, to eliminate all those like really high-tech units from Trap. But Trap has remade quite a bit. His economy is really flowing nicely. Using the EMPs to get rid of some of these observers. Good catch there by Trap.
Oh!
All right, the game slows down.
This game has become very interesting, by the way. The way that Trap managed to hold that up with the Marauders doing so much, they take out that base. Now, here's a problem for Innovation. Trap can absolutely reclaim that base that was killed. It's always a big deal to kill someone's expansion in StarCraft, but getting back down there and killing that expansion again, assuming that Trap tries to reclaim that area, that's a tall order for Innovation still. So even though he had a major victory in a fight like that, if you watch the mini-map, the Protoss is almost taking on the role of a Zerg here. It's like blue creep is spreading on the bottom right, and Trap can continue to consume those resources. We see no effort at all from Innovation, and this is not a fault, but it's just a fact. He's not expanding anywhere else yet, right? And eventually Trap may outgrow him here.
Trap right now, he is getting his Colossus, doing a nice counter warp in. Innovation does overall have a good army right now, but Trap is really kind of utilizing, again, the size of this map. With this harassment, he's expanding all over the place. Innovation needs to stabilize. I think that is kind of the main thing here. These warp prisms making him run all the way back when he actually wants to be out there trading some units and microing his army makes it very difficult. Well, he's going towards that expansion. He did see the new warping in expansion, so that could end up leading him to the main base as well.
Yeah, gets him at least a little bit closer, right? A scan over here. We see a warp in, but it's with units retreating away from this. I don't believe this Nexus can be saved. And this is not a long push for Innovation to try to come over here and fight at that base that's on the bottom left side. Again, though, if we don't get a scan here,
that bottom right, like that is making such a difference right now.
I know.
It really is.
I think Innovation would possibly have won this had he actually been able to take that out.
If he had killed that at some point, then yes, this game would be his, I would say.
Yeah.
As is, he might still win. Like, he's playing a very nice game.
That would be shocking to see Innovation come through and crush, maybe even with a push. Not aware that there was an entire other expansion of resources that were being sucked up here for Trap.
We're actually getting into this funky place where now it's there's Colossus in the army, and he's going Vikings, right? So I feel like this kind of Trap has to be even more careful than before, right? You can't just move this entire army to the bottom right or something like that. You have to be careful. You have to support your Colossus, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I guess we'll see how he handles that.
Should there be more Warp Prisms here from Trap? Seems like we've got one at a time going on.
I think if you had one more, it wouldn't be bad for sure. I think, like, even on a smaller map, 2 Warp Prisms could be pretty decent.
Yeah.
It's definitely a top 3 unit in the game.
Okay, here we go. Innovation taking the upper left. In general, planetary or no, it's a little bit trickier for Terran to take outpost expansions. I think that's actually one of the reasons why Terran was given a planetary to begin with. But that's going to be an orbital there in the upper left. And is he going to kill the Ghost Academy? That would.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good kill. It's funny to see him going into Disruptors now, too. So just kind of getting all the toys to play with. He has Psystorm, he has Colossus, he's getting Disruptors. Look at how many Colossus he has. Oh my god, he's just going for such cost efficiency with this army. So much splash damage.
Colossi coming up. Oh! Disruptors are in play, but it looks like they were caught off guard. He might be able to get a kill on 4 of them. Oh!
Some pretty good hits right there. There's not that much anti-air in here, to be honest, but the Colossus are going to just wreck his main army. Oh my god, he's got to get out of here.
Oh man, Innovation getting flattened. GG! Trap does it with a great engagement, but also, I think, a really excellent way to play the map, to kind of spread out, get more resources, make the Terran do all the heavy lifting in that game. There was nothing that required Trap on a map like that, in positions like that, to come in there and for Trap to finish off Innovation. Instead, Trap just drags the game out.
It really feels to me that bottom right base ended up winning Trap that game. I feel like in a lot of ways, Innovation was actually playing a bit of a better game than Trap. I think that the Warp Prism that kept coming in the same place, maybe Innovation could have done more against that, because that did slow him down. But yeah, that bottom right main not being scouted, the fact that Trap has that much more income. There were moments where Innovation, even in the late game, up 20 army supply, he's trying to move out, doesn't know about the base, doesn't realize that this is actually really helping Trap that much. A tough one. That could have gone either way.
You know, as much it was also the hidden base that helped him, it was innovation, not scouting that base that killed innovation as well. I mean, you got to think that that's going to be. I mean, we've seen it a lot with kind of cheeky, sneaky early bases, but it makes sense. It's an easy base for Protoss to expand to. You can recall the probes over there. You can do warp-ins to try to defend it, but it's unfortunate that innovation did not check for that. We might have had a very different game otherwise.
Yeah, possibly.
Right now, Trap is up with a 2-0 lead. Innovation's looking strong, though. Even on that map that he lost, he had a very good push. We're going to see how he does in Game 4 after this short break.
The road ahead, it twists and turns, and the sun beats down and it burns. But I keep on pushing through, and every step quicker than the last. My feet tread down this beaten path, and I keep on pushing through. 'Cause I get up, and I may fall right back down, but your love lifts me back to solid ground. Yeah, I get up, and I may fall right back down, but your love lifts me back to solid ground. Oh, I've come too far in this to raise my flag and call it quits. So I keep on pushing through. Oh, with every step my heart it pounds. Yes, so sure I've had my doubts, but I must keep pushing through. Yeah, I get up, and I may fall right back down.
Oh, girl, it must be you again. You have gone straight to my head, take the pills and go to bed, but I'm still hooked on this. Well, you are sacred in a way. I don't know God, but still have faith that He will manifest some way when I am next to you. Asked your father for your hand, but it didn't matter what he said. The thought of you in a white dress, I don't think I can shake it.
Round of 8. (2019) Mountain Dew GSL Season 2. Codex. Renaissance.
Welcome back. Right now, we have the last Terran in the second GSL of the year. On the ropes. One more map until elimination. But were he to win 2 maps against this Protoss here, he would indeed advance to the next round.
I think he's got a real shot, Innovation does, of coming back here and winning.
Yeah, he definitely has a shot.
That last map was a little bit weird, and we're not going to get into circumstances that'll, can make it anything similar to Game 3.
I don't feel like he's playing worse than Trap tonight, right? In fact, in that last game, I think that Trap won strategically, but Innovation was playing better in a lot of other ways. So we had the commercial break. He could probably collect himself, realize that it was a hidden base, and, move on and have a strong set 4.
We're going to go to King's Cove for Game 4. We already have one Protoss in the Final 4. That's Classic. Moving on, will it be Trap, a second Protoss, or the only Terran now in the GSL Round of 8, Innovation. Game 4 is ready. Let's go.
게임이 시작됩니다.
Jin Air Green Wings. Trap. Reciprocity. Innovation.
So, it's King's Cove. Definitely easy to take 3 bases here quickly. Both of these guys have shown that they're very willing to play macro games against each other, which I think is cool. You don't always get that when Innovation's involved. To be honest with this, and then Turbo Cruise is the next map, I kind of want to see Mech at Innovation both times, right?
See, human support here. Look at all those humans in the audience, too. All the humans showed up for Innovation.
Those humans are so biased. Want humans to win.
You were saying, Artosis, you want to see Mech?
I feel like, okay, so the very standard bio late game play on this map almost always comes down to a Tempest push at the 4th.
Yeah.
And we've seen, in general, Terrans have a hard time against that. Like, yeah, we've seen Morrow win it sometimes, but I think it's a little bit tough. Like, especially with how Trap nails his transitions into both Colossus, or High Templars if he's going Colossus first, and also into Tempest. He nails it, and that I think that makes it a hard situation. Whereas I look at that push from Thunderbird that Innovation did, it was super strong, and he gets 3 bases almost for free here. Why not try that again?
Trap also seems to know exactly how to tech into that without any problems.
Yeah. He's very comfortable with it. You don't want him to be comfortable. He didn't seem that comfortable against the mech push.
Yeah, I mean, the mech push looked pretty cool when it came out. I mean, once it started to happen, there wasn't much that Trap seemed to be able to do. Now, we have a hidden probe down there in the bottom left. I'm assuming this isn't going to be the same story as our other hidden probe from before. Where
oh, no, I think it is, actually. I think
it's just going to stay down there no matter
It's going to die to a probe at 10 minutes, or a marine at 10 minutes, I think.
Yeah,
that's what that
nothing built down there?
No, it's just chilling.
That's just what his father did in the game before. He's following his family's lineage.
He's got to do it.
Family footsteps. So we've got the Twilight Council here now. And we're going to wait and see, is there going to be any mech at all here? We've got a reactor already on the barracks. The starport coming.
Yeah.
As far as what Protoss is going to do, it seems like Trap hasn't really wanted to do much of anything dramatic early on. Just kind of play into mid-game.
Yeah, he hasn't mixed in the very aggressive builds that we see a lot of Protosses do.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him blink in mains or anything. I think it won't be different this time either, to be honest. Yeah, see, he's going Blink, he's going Robo, he'll grab his 2 gates now and then probably just take his 3rd base. Kind of a defensive play. A lot of times if you're going to see the aggression, you know, we've seen it from plenty of people, but even the building placement from Innovation screams, you're not going to get me.
You're not going to get me.
That's what it
You
screams.
won't get me this time.
You're not going to get me.
Yeah.
Look where his tech labs are, look where his reactors are, they're all very much right aligned. There's not much on the left-hand side of his base for Stalkers to get.
We have had specifically on this map a couple games where these Stalkers blink in there, and because the Terrans spawn in the upper left. Whoa, hold on a second.
Yeah, I love sacrifices like that.
Yeah.
They leave that down. This is what we call a full scout.
Yeah, he sees exactly what's happening.
Yeah. That's sick. And then his Nexus could not have been quicker after that scout got in.
Yeah.
Instantly throws it down. Feels completely comfortable with his position in this game, as I think he should.
To what I was saying earlier, though, we had Stalkers a lot of times blink in, and when the Terran spawns in the upper left, sometimes that Tech Lab's exposed. We saw Stim get wiped out a couple times, which was hilarious.
Oh,
of all the upgrades to deny, in StarCraft, Stim is probably
it's the most brutal,
most impactful one. And so there's the 3rd Nexus coming down. We have Stalkers moving out on the map, though, this time. So there might be the attempt at a little bit of blinking in. I guess if you go for Raven out here, you really just are on the defense as the Terran. You really just are investing in a game for later on.
Yeah.
Versus, you know.
Well, I think for sure we'll see a move out at +1 and Stim finishing up.
Post this little probe here, the probing into the Protoss with the Observer. By the way, nice snipe there.
Yeah, that's a good catch. But you know what? Like, I'm looking at this. The double forge is coming up, sure. But there is going to be this little timing where, you know, we have Innovation up and upgrade. He's going to have his Stim. He's going to have a lot of units against a Protoss that is open pretty greedily. I could see him trying that push for sure.
I'd like to see that push come out here.
Like, yeah, look, he's making some medevacs.
You know, maybe Trap's been a little bit too much of a basic bro in his macro games here.
Oh, he's playing as base as you can get.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, I love Trap's play. He's like one of the Protosses that I will study for my own pleasure, for my own build orders and stuff. Like, he's the type of player that you know is going to crush on ladder. But the way that he's playing this series, I can't see him winning the championship. Like, even if he gets a round of 4. Yeah, no, I can't see it.
But, you know, he could mix it up. He might just be doing this because he's against Innovation here. I mean,
playing basic bro macro games against Innovation?
Just because his build orders have a baseball hat with a flat rim and a sticker on it does not mean he can't pull off other styles.
Innovation is the guy you want to cheese more than anything. The greatest weapon against Innovation is like patience or parting or something like that, you know? Like, this is, even if this is your strength, this isn't how you're supposed to do it. Good micro there.
So now we have the push coming in here. The Stalkers really can't do that much here. Barely blink away.
Yeah.
The charge is complete.
He's actually going to have his 1-1 really soon. Has he slowed him down enough? Some force fields on that ramp could be very powerful.
Looks like Protoss wants to edge just a little bit further down the ramp. Got to be careful, though. Can't utilize force fields as well in an open area. Fighting in a bottleneck with force fields is always a little bit better.
2 medevacs boosting out onto the map. Are these going to meet up or go their own way? It looks like they're going to go their own way. So this little roaming force in the center should just be to divert attention at this point, I would say. He is taking his third base turn. All this is just about to finish, really hitting his macro, finding his stride. As long as he does not waste any of his army, I think he's still in a fine spot this game.
Okay, we're just outside the third now. Not easy to push up the ramp here. The Stalkers did deflect that attack. Meanwhile, it looks like the ground army is sufficient to try to take on the Terran. And actually, some of the army getting disjointed here.
Oh, he lays those mines down.
Oh, this is such an awkward fight, even with the Zealots kind of down here on the wrong area.
Yeah, this is...
Whoa.
Awkward is a perfect word to describe what this fight looks like right now.
Oh my god, even the force field didn't really do that much. Okay. Okay, that was about as bumpy of a fight on both sides as you could ask for.
Yeah. My gosh. That was once again the Family Guy fight between the chicken and Peter, where it's like everything is...
the one that the chicken gave him the bad coupon.
Yeah. I mean, that was a crazy fight. But you know what? He saves his medevacs and his Ravens. So that's really, those are the valuable units. He got those out. That's what's important. He lost some other stuff. The Zealots all died. Okay, whatever. Let's call it a wash. Okay? We're on even workers, even army supply for the most part. Yeah, the game goes on. I guess the one thing I'm a bit nervous about is just how great the upgrades are for Trap right now. The splash damage, a little bit late though, right? Templar Archives, only halfway done. But I think that's fine with the position he's in.
Innovation this time around.
Hey, is that probe still down there?
Oh. I don't
not.
think it is. I think it's gone. There's something going to the bottom left, but I don't believe. Yeah, just the prism.
Okay. I just wanted to check because we're approaching 10 minutes, so I was waiting for the Marine to go kill it.
Size Storm coming. Trap, I think, really has began to pick up momentum when he gets his Size Storms out, especially against the infantry play.
Sure.
Oh my God, that got away.
Well, it was. I think it all would. the anti-air on Liberators at this point is.
I meant probably unspotted. You know.
You know what they should do is change the Liberators' attack animation, like its anti-air attack animation, into that of the Sentries.
Yeah.
Just have the Sentry beam come out, and that's what the High Templar should shoot.
It has
too.
really wimpy Phoenix shots come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the missiles don't quite add up to you know
what they look like
the output
and what they
is.
do.
It's like, what's in those missiles?
Not too much.
Innovation.
They're full of pillows.
Innovation moving up here through the center of the map.
Yeah, I think this is all just poking and prodding. He's not. I don't think that there's any real chance of Innovation committing to a real attack.
By the way, guys, we were mentioning earlier on, you know, the three bases for Terran. Not usually where you see the Terran get crushed, but when you get to that fourth base, you know, with Tempest in play, we get to that point. That's when you can start to see the Protoss attack in. It's an open area. Actually, we're getting right into that moment now. Another attack in here.
Oh my God.
Good Size Storms over there.
Oh, the disable on the Prism is so big. That is what just saved him.
Yeah.
If he had not disabled that, Size Storms would have just demolished. They almost did anyways.
Yeah. Liberators are still set up over here. A scan down here to confirm where the Protoss army is. We have some more reinforcements coming down now. We may be going into Disruptor tech here as the game continues on.
You know, I think if he's seeing Liberators, so probably we'll see some Colossus first, maybe Disruptor super late game like we saw previously. It's 3-3, about halfway done. Innovation about to catch up on upgrades, so that's nice for him. Look at that. Look at the worker count, though. Like, Innovation's macro. I mean, I know we talk about it a lot. And it's, well, the thing is, it's because it's true.
It's been probably the most consistent thing in all of StarCraft 2 has been his macro. Yeah. Once he really started to figure this out, I mean, it was an inspiration to everybody that was attempting to master the mechanical part of StarCraft 2.
Yeah. Definitely one of the most beloved players of all time.
Ooh. Ouch.
There needs to be an upgrade for mines where they do 20 more damage. War Prisms don't, like, well, actually, that would be silly if they killed one hit.
Yeah, that'd be more of a game of chance then.
Yeah, no, that would become really
What are we, Oracles?
Like, yeah, exactly. Well, that feels fair.
Now, Terran is going to push out. Innovation is maxed out. The War Prism's not in a position to counterattack. There may be one more War Prism actually at the... no, actually, there's just one War Prism total. Excuse me. I thought there might be one more at the bottom of the map. Tab says otherwise. Here we go. Good EMP on those Templars. 2 disabled, forcing an Archon and an EMP as well there on the Raven.
Oh my gosh. Just walks through the storm, eats it right there. Few Zealots get in. Looks like he will clean that up though. These EMPs were just so good. What is this?
Well, there's
oh, the Liberators have their backs turned.
Colossus is shot down. Psystorm's blanketing this area. Now, we have Trap killing a lot of SCVs over here.
God, yeah.
But is Innovation going to be able to push in here for a kill? That's what we got to watch for. Man, those Liberators could not be more stacked, could they?
Oh my God, coming in once again. A lot of EMPs going down. Innovation trying to break through this army. He's actually got it a little bit split. The Liberators coming up and setting up some very good zones at the moment.
Oh man, the Vikings chase the Colossus away.
You know what? And the thing is, he lost a lot of SCVs, but his SCV count was so healthy that his economy is actually still fine. So if he kills this Protoss base, that's advantage Innovation, right? But I guess he feels like he can't quite do it. I think he's right.
We've seen this before with Innovation. If he's not confident he can win the fight, he will retreat. And he's usually got a pretty good calculation on what exactly is happening.
Oh, that Blink 4 going to pick off so many of these ghosts.
Well, that's a very good patch to get that.
Yeah. All right, Stims forward. He has those Marauders to push him back now. Okay, it was a good retreat from Innovation. Definitely a very good retreat. He was quite close to getting a good advantage, but Trap holds on.
Trap just outside the base here, looking to try to come in. And a little bit of an overextension there for sure.
Trying to pick off some of these Liberators. The combination of Liberators as well as the Planetary really does do a very good job. Oh.
That's going to buy him a little bit more time. It's 3-3 finishes there, so very good usage of the Raven.
Oh my God, he has Dark Archons.
The new unit in StarCraft 2. That would be cool. Orange Archons is what it is.
They should do that. They should add some more units.
They should have an Archon that's a different color. Pink Archons and gray Archons, you know,
I
silver.
think it's a great idea. What do you morph into him, though? I don't know. Turn my useless charge lots and Archons. Okay, here we go. A huge attack coming in. Quite a few Vikings here to eliminate the Colossus. They're actually not target firing. A bunch of the Colossus getting low before dying.
Oh my God, there's more than enough Vikings to finish those Colossus off. Infantry still plenty here for Innovation. He's going to pursue this army. I don't think there's any storms remaining here.
No, certainly not.
Now, can Innovation come across the map and actually kill off that other base? By the way, a bad moment there for those Immortals getting picked off here as well. Nice blink.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll force Innovation to turn around.
Great utilization of the terrain right here by Trap. Needs to back up, though. Doesn't want to lose these Stalkers for free. Definitely that Immortal's going to be falling. Still has good income. I'm not sure exactly how many gates he has right now. But the little army's warping in. I don't think it's going to be good enough, man. Like, he needs something else. He needs some Disruptors. He needs some Colossus, something to fight against this army. Okay, Disruptor is on the way. A Colossus is on the way. Okay, get a little bit of it all.
Okay, so this base being eliminated puts him on even footing for now, but Terran's expanding to the bottom center.
Okay, a good Disruptor hit could be huge here, but where is that? I guess it's not out yet, actually. Never mind.
See some of the Stalkers coming forward. And we're starting to see the Protoss army really thin out here. Good disable. There's that Disruptor you were talking about, Artosis.
Yeah.
Well, good spread.
Yeah, good dodging right there.
Looks like that Colossus is going to survive to make a few more shots, but that's it. GG. Innovation's tied it up 2-2.
Yeah.
We're not going extinct after all. At least not for one more game. One more game. Then the Protoss come and invade us.
Bringing it to the limit. Innovation right now. Looking so strong tonight. He is really playing well. Like, even the games that we're seeing him lose, he's putting forth strong strategies. He's microing well, macroing well, making a lot of good and hard decisions. You know, that, like, he wanted to snipe that fourth Nexus so bad because that is like a turning point in the game. Couldn't do it, ran home, lost a few ghosts on the way. Had to do that, though. Set everything up, got into his Vikings to eliminate those Colossus, counterattack the chase. All beautifully done. Innovation in peak form right now.
What will Trap do on Turbo Cruise 84?
It's a good question.
I feel like Innovation, you know, even when he plays an off-brand, it's usually kind of super stable.
Yeah, yeah. I've been saying I want to see mech here because of those green blobs. Like, if you have your mech set up in something like that, how can Protoss get in there, right?
Oh, that's an interesting
Charge lots aren't
point,
going to do anything.
Well, we're going to find out what he is. Innovation, the only Terran in the final 8 of the GSL Code S trap. Another Protoss, but certainly not just any Protoss. How am I doing, Artosis?
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I guess if anyone's just another Protoss in the round of 8, it's for Hurricane.
Yeah, I was going to say Hurricane.
What?
Jin Air Green
What the hell
Trap.
was that?
What? I got a student. What did you see?
That? Like, a probe went down, and then he made a pylon. It looked for a moment like he was going to send a probe out, maybe for a max backs.
Reciprocity.
I don't know.
Innovation.
It looked super weird. Maybe he's stressed and was like, I got to go and build a pylon to make my wall because I'm playing against Zerg. I don't really know what that was, but it was a weird probe movement.
I guess we'll never know.
Never, ever know.
We're going to die without knowing that. We're going to have to just deal with that, Artosis.
Yeah.
Traps, by the way, coming up with a probe in the upper right to come through here and try to scout this out. An immediate scout. It's funny because we had a lot of players try to play around standard games in this early on, especially when we finally started getting this map. But now it seems like players have gotten much more comfortable with this.
Yeah. A lot of people get all huffy puffy when a new map comes out.
Well,
I'm always gonna beat on it, or I'm always gonna cheese on it, and then eventually you're like, okay, I played enough, I get it.
Well, I think what happens is you have these guys that play on the same maps over and over, and they start to have figured out every little aspect and unique situation, and it is so mapped out. Like the algorithm tree and all the different ways their builds can go is so inked in there.
Yeah.
That then when you have a map where it's like, there's green bubbles over here and they slow you down, you're like, what? Are you serious? As a pro.
Yeah.
However, as a spectator and also as somebody who wants to kind of learn StarCraft and see it in all these different situations, you have to have stuff like this on maps. It keeps the game fresh. It keeps it interesting.
I think it's super cool. So, Reaper gonna come in. Not gonna scout anything out of the ordinary.
Here's that probe again.
He's waiting for his Marine friend to meet him there.
It's tradition to come out here and then wait to die.
This is where we go.
This is what we do. We draw straws and one of us just dies out here.
It's funny that he keeps doing that. And I would like to know why, because he hasn't done anything with it yet. It could be something as simple as, he just is hiding from the Reaper. I don't want to say that Innovation's in there counting probes, but people should do that. Should know exactly how many probes your opponent should have. I mean, I don't do it. I'm way too lazy to figure that out.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what, Artosis?
It's your job. You should do it.
I think you should know everything perfectly all the time. What do you think?
You're right. I should.
Yeah. That robo's almost done. And I'm excited for the chance that Innovation's going to move on. I'll be honest with you guys. I secretly thought he was going to die before Game 4 started. I thought,
sure
oh boy.
Did. Well, he's actually just playing very, very well tonight.
Yeah. With his Protoss invasion.
I'm excited as hell for him to move on if he does. The thing is,
it's a great
Classic
story.
in a best of 7 is pretty tough.
Yeah.
That's pretty tough.
But yeah, we need to see the humans survive in this invasion of Protoss. It's like War of the Worlds.
Awesome. What if the finals ends up being like Innovation Dark and everyone's complaining about Protoss the whole time and we're just like, guys,
stop it.
When was the last time they won a tournament?
Yeah.
Will you guys talk about
cut
Super Tournaments forever?
Out.
Yeah.
Oh, look, he's doing something. I decided to break away from my family tradition.
Yeah. Good for him.
I was born to make pylons. This is who I am.
It's the scariest type of probe right there.
Yeah.
One that makes pylons on the map. That might not be for anything much. Anyways, Cloak is on the way. Charge.
What's it going to do? It was made in my vision. I was just made to create. Up, spots the push.
Okay.
Now the Banshee's going to move out with Cloak over here. The idea is the Banshee wants to start to snipe a lot of the workers, and then if the Terran can, it looks like it's not going to happen because Terran's backing off now with the Stalkers moving out, but try to come in there and get into a position. I guess if you push out like that with the Marines and the tanks, you can also draw the Stalkers away, which is what already happened. And then maybe the Banshee could do more damage in that sense as well. Oh, great scan.
Now, this doesn't look entirely unlike what we saw before, and I was calling before.
You mean game one?
Game one, yeah. That the weird build that we saw Trap do, the Immortal into charge, I was saying that I thought that this was something that Innovation pushed him into with the weird army movements, and I just want to throw out that he's doing a very similar build against, and I mean, Innovation did do a move out. Wow, that's a good scout.
Yeah.
That's a real good scout.
I don't know if you call it a scout or a right click away from where he was going to hit, and then it ended up getting there.
Oh. Either way, it did scout. That is a huge find, though. But yeah, I'm saying I could have definitely been wrong on my game one call of that. So maybe this is like a build that Trap just has that he likes, but it could be a reaction still. I'm not 100% sure either way.
Well, I guess if you hide that over there, you can run out here. In this case, it's going to have to be Archons, but since he killed the pylon, but maybe you can hit him with a certain timing attack. You got the Zealot legs done.
Yeah, maybe.
He's remaking the Templar Archive, so I guess it's not going to be that. He's going to make an Archon for now, but certainly wants to get Storm for later on.
I think if Innovation plays a defensive game from here, could be very nice for him.
Oh my God, this is going to
die.
Wait for it. Die.
Never.
Oh!
It's gonna live forever. Hold position right there.
That's right.
It's 2 supply.
He's going
forever.
to that travel agency.
I'd like a plane ticket the hell out of here.
Terran.
You're a Banshee. We can't put you on an airplane.
You are an airplane.
Oh my God, oh my God. Oh, Stim's not done.
The human will to live.
It's kind of a scary army. Oh my God.
Okay, Stim's so close. A few seconds out. But how are you going to push through there? What? Okay.
Got it. Tried to go in. Greedy.
Now this ridge over here, this is a great place to try to set up with your tanks and everything, and force the Protoss to do a lot of hard work to try to get close to your army. And he's going to start to set up over here. Good disable on the Immortals. A Stim dive in. So Force Field slow that down a little bit. It looks like the Immortals should live, but I don't think this Nexus will.
Yeah, that 4th base I think has to get canceled. Oh my God, look at this. The Prism is going across the map right now, so he's looking for some counter damage here and all this. Storm is about to finish.
His Storm is done, so he needs to have some very good retreats.
Okay, a good first Storm.
Nice warping over here at the natural.
God. This has turned into a little bit of a base trade. Well, not exactly a base trade, but lots of damage going down at least.
Lots of damage trade.
Uh-oh.
Okay, this is getting really bad here for Terran because the Natural's no longer mining. Is this going to be enough to break this? There's 3 Immortals over here, and it's mostly Marauder tank with submarines. He's going to try to get a little bit closer in.
He has potential to break through, but still taking damage at home right now. 20 SCVs have fallen already.
Oh my God, he's on top of production facilities, so there's nothing that can get out and live to reinforce this, while Protoss has plenty to warp in. But then again, Terran, with so much muscle here, he's going to recall back home and try to use his remaining army to hold this attack off. Innovation has to make this work right now.
The mines are about to reset, some of them at least. Okay, one of them gets up and actually gets a shot off on the probe. So many fall down. Innovation with very few units left over here. Very few workers at home as well.
Good control so far, but the Warp Prism is going to be key here. If he can continue to juggle, he'll do an excellent job of staying alive here.
Oh my God, everything is getting so low on health. Innovation with nothing left over.
This was a brilliant play here by Trap, I gotta say. He handled this so perfectly.
That was such a tight hold.
It's 15 workers here for Terran. It's 30 for Protoss, but Terran has mules.
And he has 3 CCs right now.
Yeah.
So
only 2 orbitals.
That means something. Yeah, if that third one was an orbital, that would definitely be a better position, but he's making it now. Okay, a Forge on the way. That means that Trap feels like this game is going to go a bit longer. So moral drop definitely annoying. He's making a Viking now to deal with it.
Got to be careful here.
Yeah, he doesn't have much to deal with it, to be honest.
If you lose the War Prism and the Immortals, it's very, very bad.
Yeah.
Now
shit just got a lift.
So he's going to move that for now, but there should be a very quick third mineable location if it's not pushed to death by Protoss. Oh my god! Oh my god.
That would have been so crazy.
Oh my god.
He ran into
Can
those
you even
mines.
imagine? Yeah, the Viking here, there's nothing you can do.
Oh, is he going to go through the green?
Oh. It's like, no, Artosis, I'm a pro gamer.
I was like, why would I go through the green? It would slow
slows
me
me
down
down.
and kill me. I'm like, oh, okay, sorry.
Sorry.
You know, sometimes you just right-click. Right-click at home. Okay. Where are we at right now? Third Nexus is coming.
Yeah, the third command center, the orbital has been lifted and sent over to the natural. So if Terran wants to, he could slip that over there a little bit before the third Nexus finishes, but Innovation doesn't quite have enough workers to totally utilize all the mineral patches here if he takes a third base.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, he can utilize his mules and stuff on fresh patches, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
You know, I want to see the unit tab real bad. I bet you right now that Innovation's army is actually good enough to do something. Not the best.
Yeah. Got to be careful because, you know, what you see is what you get with Terran for a little while here. Production is very slowed down. Oh, man, you know, he's been so mule hungry, he might not have a scan there.
Yeah, this is a side storm drop. He doesn't, well, I mean, I guess all of his SCVs are basically, that was a quick
that was
pull.
perfect. That was about as good as you could ever do.
Yeah, it really
Only
was.
2 kills. I'll take that any day as Terran.
And that's 2 less storms. But there's a hell of a lot of storms right there.
In fact,
oh my god.
I think Protoss is almost nothing but storms. There's just an excess of gas here.
Yeah, yeah. He has so many storms. That's going to be so hard to fight through. And Innovation's economy is not at such a level that he can really get the Coast Academy right now. I mean, he could, but it would slow the game down so much. Oh my god. Yeah, look at those storms. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I mean, the fact that he got every single Widow Mine, or pretty much every single one
Yeah.
there.
I mean, one good one goes off, but that was really
I don't know if it's over yet, but that's tough. Okay, snap pickup. I don't think there's an observer here, right? No,
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay, but what about scouting Templars? No, he's going to go right through the green. Now, now, keep in mind. Oh, keep in mind, guys. There is a. Was that observer that was in siege mode over there? Was that there before? That was not, right?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter now. He spotted this. He's recalling some of the army back home. We're in the main here. He recalled it the third.
Yeah, big recall right there. He takes the top of the ramp, sets up his mines. Zal's trying to get up here. They're going to eat some of those mines and bring the splash damage to the Terran units. But look at that. The Archon bugging out here, stuck behind a Stalker. Some poor control for Trap.
A small attack over here at the third. You know, having this ramp to utilize is perfect. Oh! Great sniping. Great sniping. Liberation zone set up as he tries to relocate over here at the third base.
Innovation's doing everything he can think of right now. Oh my god.
Oh my god, why are you stacking like that? My eyes!
No!
Oh! Oh! Well, you can't be too mad at Storm when you stack your Liberators like that.
Oh, that I think that was like a rally or a move command. I don't know. That was
really bad.
Storm's killing 4 Liberators.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Terran retracts back to the third base. It seems like Trap wants to try to move out.
He has no medevacs. He has to be making some medevacs now. Throwing some mines out onto the map. Oh.
Okay, now
what? This could be good.
Oh, okay, he notices.
That's right.
We have higher ambitions as minds. We will not settle unless we do the best. My life is a lie. And I don't know if you know, with the number of storms that can be chucked out here.
Yeah.
Will it be possible post all these side storms? Yeah. I mean, can't you just come in here and just kill this all? I think you can, right?
We're close to the rally points. The army's getting smaller. You know. Oh my god, but here comes some Zealots from the other side. Yeah, that's... How did he have that many storms?
Laser, lightning spells are good, Artosis.
Storm costs less mana now? Like, what was that?
Yeah, I think he's broke him, and the third CC might get burned down. GG! Humans are dead. It's over. For this season, it's over.
Look at that. Trap going to the round of 4. What a badass. Trap did play very, very well today.
Yeah.
But so did Innovation.
I'll tell you what, though, I think Trap played a little bit of a better game, especially on map 3.
Map 3 was
hidden Nexus.
Oh,
bottom
that
right.
game.
Yeah, Cobalt.
To be honest, I actually felt like Innovation played a better game there, but Trap won. So
yeah,
good on him. He made the right moves strategically, but I think the actual plays from Innovation were really strong.
Trap is going to be interviewed, I think, in a second here. We're going to see how he's feeling. He's the second player to advance to the Final Four.
진출자 만세를 외치신 모습을 보여주셨는데요. 진에어 그리닝스 조성호 선수 만나보겠습니다. 축하드립니다.
네, 감사합니다.
와, 터보크루즈 막세트 승리를 확정짓고 만세! 승리의 크게 그 기쁨을 느낄 수가
You
있었어요.
hooray after winning.
얼마나 기쁘셨어요?
Set 5, how you feeling?
진짜 마지막 지지받는 순간까지
The moment that I got lost GG,
역전 당하는 줄 알았어요.
I feel like
게임이 너무
Innovation gonna win this
저도
game.
모르게 이렇게 나왔던 것 같아요.
I didn't really intend to do hooray after the match.
승리전이 굉장히 치열했었거든요. 조성호 선수의 그런
You guys had a great mind game.
그 몰래 기사단 기록 보관소도 들켰을 때 와 진짜 울고 싶었을 것 같았어요.
In the game 5, when the Innovation searched your Templar archives, how do you feel?
이제 고위 기사 그 기지를 지금 너무 떨려가지고 생각도 안 나는데
I can't even remember
원래
the moment.
준비한 거긴 한데
It's very
그
critical
상황을
moment.
봤을 때는 거기다 지을 필요가 없었는데
I didn't really need to build the
게임이
Templar archive.
무의식적으로 하다 보니까 그때 지은 거예요. 그래가지고 이것 때문에 질 수도 있겠구나라는 생각 때문에
I thought I was gonna
어려웠던 것
lose
같아요.
this game by hidden
오늘
Templar
그래도
archives.
참 저희는 매번 놀라고 있는 게 카이로스
We are always being surprised by you.
다 이신영 선수의 어떤 낮춤 빌드가 아니라 기본기 운영 싸움에서 이렇게 승리를 거뒀습니다.
You won
선수 개인적인
against
측면에서도
Innovation
참
by
남다른
rotations.
그 의미가 있을 것 같거든요. 어떠세요?
What does it
많이
mean for you?
네, 사실 신영 형이
Effect, Innovation.
신영 형을 이길 때는 운영으로 꼭 이겨야 된다고 생각해요. 워낙
To beat
간단하게
Innovation, I need to use
방어 같은 것도
rotation
너무 잘하기 때문에
because he's such a
그래가지고
good defensive player.
레더 때는 많이 이기는데
In the ladder, I
신영 형은 또 다르기
defeat
때문에
Innovation quite often.
좀 기본기를 가다듬으려고 노력을 많이 했어요.
I tried to
스스로도
make my
이신영
basic
선수의
skills
최대 장점으로
to
물량,
defeat
이런 생산력을
Innovation.
뽑았는데 더 잘 뽑으시는데요?
You have good, you have better
회전이랑
micro than
좀
Innovation.
많이 변한 것 같아요.
I think I
많이
changed a
변한 것
lot.
같다 이야기를 하셨습니다. 오늘 참 유일하게 좀 굴욕을 당했다고 해야 하나요? 이신영 선수가 알고도 못 막네 이렇게 이야기한 판이 있었죠. 오늘 전차 중심에
After set 2,
메카닉을
Innovation said, even though you know my strategy, you didn't defend my strategy. How do you feel about it?
준비를 했는데
네.
빌드 상황이 너무 불리하기 시작해가지고
My build
그래서 그랬다고 생각해요.
wasn't better than
그런 채팅
Innovation.
러시에는 화나지 않으세요?
옛날
Aren't you get mad at that
지금은
chatting?
아무렇지도 않아요.
지금은
I don't feel
아무렇지 않다
anything
이렇게
about it.
말씀하셨습니다. 이렇게 탄탄한 경기력으로 2연속 4강.
You made a two consecutive semifinals.
2연속입니다. 이렇게
This is
두 번 연속으로
your second
올라갈
two
거라고
consecutive
생각하셨어요?
advancement to the semifinals. How do you think about it?
올라갈 거라고 확신은 못했는데 항상 이제
I
자신감이
didn't really know
있었어요.
whether I can qualify to the semifinals.
약간의 깨달음도 있어가지고 방송에서
I
이제
found
게임도
something
연습 때처럼 나오는 것 같아요.
during my
이번
practice
시즌 2
so that I
4강인데
could make to the
조성주
semis.
선수만큼이나 강력한 김도우 선수입니다.
Your next opponent is
어떠신가요?
classic. How do you think about it?
오늘 경기하기 전에도
Before this match,
봤는데 진짜
I
소스지만
I
족발 소리
saw
나오게
this
잘하더라고요.
match against
그게
Sue.
잘하기 때문에
I think he's a good player.
하고 또 되게 어려울 것 같아요. 도우 형이
It's gonna be a tough game
너무 잘해가지고
because he's too
너무
good.
잘한다. 하지만 조성호 선수도 이 기회를 놓칠 수 없는데요.
But you can't miss
두
this
번째
chance.
4강 각오를
This is your
이어주시죠.
second semifinals. How do you? What is your determination?
이번에 8강
Well,
때 준비를 되게 많이 했었는데 4강에서도 이제
In round of
팀원들이
8,
있기 때문에
I prepared quite a lot.
준비를 잘 할 수 있을 거라고 생각하고요. 또
I
이번에
think I can
준비하면서
well
연습을
prepare for
도와준
the semifinals.
성주, 도욱이, 이제 명훈이 형, 재선이한테도 고맙다는 말 전하고 싶어요.
네, 이제 고마운
I'm gonna-
소식까지 감사의
I'm thanks to all my
다시
friends
한번
who
이어서
helped
8강
my
진출
practice.
축하드립니다.
감사합니다.
Thank you. This is the end of interview.
네, 오늘
Alright, thank
8강
you very
경기
much.
최종
Protoss
경기까지
rule today, guys.
하겠습니다.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's all there is to it. Deal with it.
Yeah, so we do have a Protoss going to the finals, Classic or Trap.
I thought that it might be like War of the Worlds, where all the Protosses would get sick right when we thought they were going to beat us. Because that's how War of the Worlds ends. Everybody screwed it. It's like, oh, the alien race is advanced. Forgot about germs, guys. Sorry.
What about Dark here? We haven't had a Zerg champion since like Solkey, if I'm correct, which was about, how long ago was that?
That was in the Jurassic era.
Yes.
I would be fine with that.
Dark still has that shot on Saturday.
I think Dark can absolutely beat Hero, by the way.
Yes. I think that Hero can beat Dark as well, though.
And, of course, having Parting here against Hurricane, that's an interesting match, an unusual match to have in the round of 8, but that's what we've got.
What if we have Hurricane versus Trap in the finals?
Let's go. Let's do it.
Do it.
Let's make it weird. Let's make it weird.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're going to join us for the next day of GSL, that's 1 p.m. KST, and you do not want to miss out on that. That should be a very fun day. I'm glad that we had a long series for the second best of 5, by the way. We went to Game 5. The first series was, like, so short. I didn't even feel like I was warmed up as a caster, to be honest.
Well, poor Tasteless over here. I think that our poor Sue, though, he definitely didn't get to warm up, right? Yeah, you and Sue had a really hard time in that first match.
We weren't ready.
Gosh.
We were not ready, okay?
Yeah. At first I was feeling bad for Sue, but then I was like, you know what? Tasteless is the one that had the hard time there.
Feel bad for me. Yeah, Sue got crushed, though, in those games. Classic.
Yeah, he really did.
I've not seen a player really take such control of a series like that in a long time. It's like every game, Sue has his thing he wants to do. He never gets to try it. It's all about what Classic wants. Can Sue hold it? If he does, okay, then he wins a game. But most of the time, he did not.
Yeah.
And so Classic moves on. And I think it's very realistic that Classic wins this entire tournament.
Yeah, it's really looking like that right now. I think that Classic versus Trap is definitely Classic favored. Classic is definitely one of the better PvPs out there, but we'll see what Trap brings.
Hang on to your tickets. If you're here in our studio, we have a giveaway at the end of the show.
Yes.
We're giving away all sorts of cool stuff. Photo album, Ferrari, all sorts of cool stuff.
Really great stuff. Yeah. We're going to give the studio to somebody.
Yeah,
maybe.
That's right.
If your ticket's called, I don't know.
We don't make the rules around here.
Yeah.
We'll be on every Wednesday and Saturday now that we've been here. I guess we only have one more week of that, though.
Yeah, no, we have next week for the round of 4.
That's all the time we have, guys. Thank you for joining us. We love you. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are.
This is my world.
Let's make it count.
I must practice tolerance. Next, GSL Season 2. Renaissance.